with the Sharingan, am trash. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 1, Awakening of Superpowers. Blue Star, Shengsha Empire, White Dragon City, White Dragon Academy. On the stage in the Academy Square, the Dean Yuan An, with a middle-parted hair, greasy face and a big belly, was giving an impassioned speech. Students, today is the most important day in your life. 3 years of hard study, more than 1,000 days and nights of diligent study, all for today. Today is the day you awaken your superpowers. It is also the day that determines your future. Under the podium, a group of students listened excitedly, their blood boiling, and their faces full of expectations. Yuan An was also mixed in the crowd, listening to Yuan An's passionate speech, but he didn't feel anything in his heart. This is a world of spiritual resurrection. Yuan An didn't belong to this world originally, but was reborn in a daze, and in the blink of an eye, he spent 18 years of mediocre life. There are citizen schools here too. It's just that the schools don't teach Chinese, mathematics, English, politics, history, geography, physics, chemistry, biology, but teach knowledge such as on the harm of monsters and on the cultivation of superpowers. In this world, everyone has a chance to awaken their superpowers after turning 18. Only by awakening superpowers can they survive in this world. Because this world is full of dangers, monsters are prevalent, resources are scarce, human nature fights, the environment is bad, etc. Only superpowers are the only capital to survive. I hope each of you can awaken satisfactory superpowers. I hope the divine light will shine on each of you. I declare that the superpower awakening ceremony officially begins. As Yuan An finished his speech, the superpower awakening ceremony officially began. All students went on stage one by one in an orderly manner. There was a 1-meter high stone pillar on the stage, and a fist-sized transparent crystal ball was placed on the stone pillar, the superpower ball. As long as you put your hand on it, you can awaken superpowers, and superpowers are also divided into levels. From high to low, they are S, A, B, C, D, and the only superpowers that reach the lowest level of D are considered useful, and the E-level superpower is the lowest level discovered so far. Basically, the E-level superpower equals useless superpower is a recognized equation. As the power balls lit up, each power representing awakening appeared. Elemental, fire, sea level. Elemental, water, sea level. Elemental, water, D level. Elemental, thunder, D level. Powers are mainly divided into 2 categories, elemental and special. The elemental category is further divided into ordinary and fusion. Ordinary elemental is the most common and ordinary power, including wind, fire, water, thunder, and earth. Fusion elemental refers to the fusion of 2 or more ordinary elemental systems, including wood, ice, melting, etc. Except for the elemental, all the remaining powers belong to the special category, which is relatively rare. Watching the team on the stage slowly moving forward, Yuan An felt a little uneasy. He has been reborn for 18 years, and he should be a native of this world. But the awakening of power is based on the power of the soul. His soul is not considered native, and I don't know if he is qualified to awaken his power. If not, then he is doomed. Brother An, what superpower do you want to awaken? Yuan An's shoulder was patted, and he turned around to see the smiling face of his classmate Susanoo. He shook his head. It's not like you can awaken anything you want. Think about it. My dad often tells me that if you don't even dare to think, what's the point of being a person? Susanoo smiled and looked heartless. My biggest wish is to awaken the lightning system. Why? Yuan An asked. Of course it's because it's cool. What superpower can be cooler than the lightning system? Susanoo answered as a matter of course. Imagine when you are covered in thousands of lightning and rescue a lost little sister from the mouth of monster. She will be fascinated and throw herself into your arms. It's easy to get her. I think it's more likely that you will be saved by the little sister. Yuan An complained calmly. That's not bad. Beauty saving the hero. It's also good. Z-san accepted all the plots related to the little sister calmly. Yuan An shook his head and continued to observe the awakening ceremony on the stage. Elemental, Earth, D level. Elemental, Ice, Sea level. Most people awaken to the elemental system, and Sea level is already a very high level. There are very few B levels above, not to mention A level and S level. Until a brilliant beam of pure white light shot up into the sky. Special power, B level. As soon as the instructor's words came out, there was an uproar. It's actually B level, so strong. And it's a special type of power, which is one of the most important combat abilities. I don't want to say the word envy anymore. The one who awakened the power system was a man with a middle parted hair, who looked greasy and rich. Yuan An knew him, Sharingan, whose family was in the mining business, a typical rich second generation. In addition, he awakened the B-level ability, which immediately attracted the attention of many girls. Even the principal Lu Yunshuan nodded with satisfaction. Sharingan is a good kid. I knew he has a promising future. B-level superpowers are not top-notch, but they are already considered first-class talents in Beilan Academy. Most of the instructors also have B-level superpowers, and there are only a few A-level ones. In the annual Superpower Awakening Ceremony of Beilan Academy, it is already very good to be able to awaken a few B-level superpowers. Basically, there is no A-level in 10 years. The higher S-level superpowers are only legends. The awakening ceremony is still going on. In addition to the common elemental system, many people have awakened strange superpowers. Special type, gardening system, E-level. Special type, animal husbandry system, E-level. Special type, culinary system, E-level. Although these superpowers are classified as special, they have no combat power at all, and the level is so low that they basically bid farewell to the ranks of combatants and can only be logistics personnel. The status of logistics personnel is much lower than that of frontline combatants. All those who have awakened these superpowers are dejected and heartbroken. Some even roll over on the ground, unable to accept the fact. Some feel pity, some sympathize, and some ridicule. But more people are still afraid and can't help but swallow their saliva. They are afraid that they will be the next one. Yuan An is also afraid. And he is very afraid. He has no confidence in himself. He doesn't expect to awaken any rare superpowers, just an ordinary superpower that is neither good nor bad. Next, Yuan An. Chapter 2, Double F useless superpowers? No, it's the Sharingan and would release. Next, Yuan An. When the instructor on the stage read out his name, Yuan An's heart snapped. It's over, it's my turn. I'll die. At worst I'll just go home and live off my parents. With a firm mind, Yuan An took a deep breath, stepped onto the stage, appeared in front of everyone, and caused a heated discussion. He is Yuan An. I remember his father Yuan Zhen seems to be an A-level thunder type psychic. Yes, his fucking psychic ability seems to be not weak. Anyway, his family is quite rich. A tiger father will have a dog son, and his awakened psychic ability will definitely not be weak. Besides, he is so handsome. Mom, I'm in love. The students in the audience talked a lot and had great hopes for Yuan An. Even Lu Yunshuan on the stage cast an expectant look. The stage and the audience were all expectant. Only Yuan An himself was very panicked. He is indeed Yuan Zhen's son, but who says that a tiger father will definitely have a dog son? He himself is not so confident. The people in the audience should not talk without any pain in their waists. This will make him feel very stressed. There was no other way. Since he had already come up, Yuan An could only bite the bullet and put his hand on the power ball in front of him. The next moment, two rays of light, one red and one green, emanated from the power ball, immediately causing countless people below to exclaim, "Fuck." Two colors of light. It's actually dual power. Oh my god, there really is a dual power. This is fucking crazy. Even Lu Yunshuan and a group of instructors stood up suddenly, staring at the power ball in front of Yuan An. Dual power. This is even rarer than A-level power. Basically, these two powers are not too bad, even if they are only to C level, or 1C and 1D, the potential for development is no less than that of A-level power. I didn't expect that Yuan An could awaken dual powers. It seems that God blesses my White Dragon Academy. Lu Yunshuan touched his bald head and was very excited. If their White Dragon Academy had a strong dual power student, they would definitely be able to look down on their peers. However, the strength of these two beams of light seems to be quite ordinary. The level may not be too high. It's okay. Dual superpowers. It doesn't matter if the level is a little low. Even Yuan An didn't expect that he would awaken two superpowers. He was worried that he didn't have any superpowers. Could it be that I'm actually a genius among millions? Finally, the light on the superpower ball stopped, and everyone looked over eagerly. Special type, spiritual pupil system, F level. Element type, wood system, F level. When the instructor on the scene announced the two results, he himself was stunned. The whole audience was silent, as quiet as death. Did I hear wrong? F level? Is there such a level of superpower? Isn't the lowest level E level? What's the level of F level? F level means even more useless than E level. Ha 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 ha. I'm dying of laughter. It's even lower than E level. At first I thought he was a genius, but I didn't expect him to be a loser. Double F level. 1 + 1 = 2. That's equivalent to E level superpower. Still useless. I'm dying of laughter. This is simply embarrassing. His father, the son of an A level superpower, is actually a double F level loser. Could he not be his biological son? For a while, the audience burst into laughter. F level. This is simply refreshing the lower limit of their White Dragon City. Not to mention White Dragon City. I'm afraid there is no second one in the entire Shengsha Empire. The instructors on the field were also dumbfounded. Although they did not express it as obviously as the students in the audience, their expressions suddenly changed from full of expectations to cold and mocking. Superpowers are the foundation of everything. No matter how rich your family is, your own supernatural garbage will be devoured sooner or later. What a pity. It's such a pity. As the principal, Lu Yunshuan also shook his head with disappointment and sat back. Originally, because the Yuan family was so powerful, Lu Yunshuan was still very optimistic about Yuan An. But this double F level supernatural power really made him unable to look forward to it. The two supernatural powers of the spiritual pupil system and the wood system were not bad, but the F level directly locked the upper limit of the supernatural power. No matter how good the supernatural power system is, it can't break through the potential upper limit of the level. Yuan An, useless. Double F level. I'm useless. Yuan An's face was pale. Of course, he also knew what the two supernatural powers he awakened represented. The difference in supernatural power levels mainly has two manifestations. One is the upper limit, and the other is the lower limit. For example, A-level supernatural powers will definitely be stronger than C-level supernatural powers in the future. In the same realm, for example, everyone is at level 1 of the first order, and the A-level ability is definitely stronger than the B-level ability. In practice, the A-level ability user at level 1 of the first order can beat the B-level ability user at level 1 of the first order. Double F level refreshed the lower limit of the ability level, which is even more embarrassing than having no ability. At the beginning, the double ability gave him such great expectations, but in the end, he was slapped into the abyss. God is too cruel to him. Ding. Host found. Naruto mission system is binding. Just when Yuan An was wailing in his heart, a mechanical voice with a bit of comfort in the coldness, and a bit of familiarity in the strangeness sounded. System? Yuan An was stunned. He was reborn for 18 years, a full 18 years. As a player who was reborn with memories, he certainly knew the arrangement of this routine. First let you be reborn, and then give you a system. From then on you will become stronger and bigger, black silk on the left and white silk on the right, and reach the peak of life. But in the first 10 years of his rebirth, Yuan An's excitement was wiped out, and he couldn't even see the system. He had already accepted the status quo, and continued to be an ordinary person in this world. He never expected that when he faced the darkest day of his life, the system finally appeared. This was simply saving him from the dire straits, and bringing dawn to the endless darkness. Ding. The host was found to have awakened the spiritual eye system and successfully transformed into the bloodline limit Sharingan. Ding. The host was found to have awakened the wood system and successfully transformed into the bloodline limit wood release. The system's voice continued to sound step by step, one sentence at a time, making Yuan An's heart suddenly become fanatical. Oh my god, I was given the Sharingan and wood release at the beginning? Exclamation mark. Isn't this fucking cool? Exclamation mark. Yuan An was so happy that he almost screamed, but fortunately he held it back. But the joy on his face was seen by everyone, and they were all puzzled. After awakening such a superpower, he can still laugh. Could it be that he can't accept such a blow and has become stupid? How pitiful. Even the instructor in charge of recording the awakening of superpowers was considering whether to carry Yuan An off. Yuan An said thank you to the instructor, as if no one was around, turned around and left the stage. He didn't care about the sympathy, pity, sarcasm, and ridicule of the crowd. What does his Sharingan and would release have to do with his spiritual pupils and would release? What is Sharingan? What is would release? In this world, I'm afraid no one else knows except him. A group of mortals with limited knowledge. When the day comes that the Susanoo Buddha descends, Yuan An will let them know what the power of God is. Chapter 3, Yuan An, let's contact each other less in the future. Yuan An's awakening caused quite a stir. But the awakening ceremony for superpowers has not yet ended, and the people behind are still continuing, one after another. Some are still happy and some are sad, but no matter what kind of superpowers the people behind awaken, they can't be compared with Yuan An, of course. Here refers to the heat of discussion, not the intensity. Even when Yuan An finished awakening his superpowers and returned to his position, there were still many people around him who laughed at him openly or secretly. To this, Yuan An turned a deaf ear. At this time, Z-san also came back. He looked hesitant and wanted to say something, but in the end he could only sigh and pat Yuan An's shoulder heavily. Brother An, don't be too sad. At worst you can go home and be a rich second generation, and Lord Yuan Zhen can still support you. Yuan An rolled his eyes at him and asked, what superpower did you awaken? Thunder system, sea level. Z-san answered with a silly look on his face. Very good, just what you want. Yes, it really awakened my lightning. Don't worry, Brother An, when I become stronger, I will protect you. Let's talk about it later. Yuan An didn't have the heart to talk to Z-san at all. After saying a few words to send him away, Yuan An couldn't wait to open the system interface. Host, Yuan An age 18 realm, level 1 of the first order, aura attributes, wind, fire, water, thunder, earth, superpowers, Sharingan, would release, Sharingan, 3 Megatama, copying power, insight, illusion, would release, no skills yet. A very simple introduction. Although would release does not come with a skill, the Sharingan directly gives a 3 Megatama. Just a 3 Megatama Sharingan is enough to rival a sea level superpower. In addition to the personal interface, there is also a store interface, which Yuan An also opened. A wide variety of ninjutsu filled his eyes at once. Main Gekkai Sharingan Amaterasu. 10,000 energy points. Main Gekkai Sharingan Tsukuyomi. 10,000 energy points. Main Gekkai Sharingan Kagutsuchi. 10,000 energy points. Main Gekkai Sharingan Katamatsukami. 50,000 energy points. Main Gekkai Sharingan Kamu, Hippomorphic. 50,000 energy points. Main Gekkai Sharingan Kamu, Distorted. 50,000 energy points. Main Gekkai Sharingan Susanoo. 50,000 energy points. Forbidden Eye Technique Izanami. 50,000 energy points. In addition to the Sharingan, there are also would release ninjutsu, would release Tree World Birth. 10,000 energy points. Wood Style, Flower Tree World Descent. 10,000 energy points. Wood Style, Wood Dragon Technique. 10,000 energy points. Wood Style, Ranking Technique. 10,000 energy points. Wood Style, All Bag Techniques. 10,000 energy points. All the main Jiki Sharingan's pupil techniques were listed, and there were also powerful wood-styled techniques, which made Yuan An very excited. But he soon saw his energy point balance, 0. Well, it turns out that he is still a pauper. System, how do I earn energy points? There are several ways to obtain energy points. Hunting monsters to obtain monster cores in exchange, exchanging with spirit stones, and completing tasks issued by the system from time to time to obtain them. Yuan An nodded. 3 ways, that's okay. Monsters are everywhere outside. Monster cores are the core of monsters, and contain the power of monsters. Spirit stones are the universal currency of this world. In essence, they are a kind of crystal stone that contains spiritual energy and can be used for cultivation. Neither of these two is difficult to obtain, but I don't know what the exchange rate is. I'll have to go home and ask my dad to get some to exchange for it. The awakening ceremony is gradually coming to an end. The last one, Zaomeri. When the instructor read out this name, everyone shut up at the same time, staring at the girl in a snow-white dress, with skin as white as snow, beautiful as a flower, pure and beautiful with a bit of charm. Zaomeri, the recognized #1 school beauty of Beilan College, is extremely beautiful and is the wife that countless people dream of. That pure and charming look has become the object of male compatriots venting in the middle of the night. When studying theoretical knowledge, Zaomeri's grades were the best in the school. When a superior leader came to inspect, he said in person that Zaomeri's qualifications were excellent and her future was limitless. Everyone was looking forward to what superpowers she could awaken. Zaomeri exhaled slightly, and her pure and innocent little hand was placed on the superpower ball. The next moment, a blue-white light shot up into the sky, dazzling and straight into the sky. Elemental, ice, S-level. When the instructor said this in shock, the whole audience was silent. Dead silence. No one dared to breathe. S-level. The first S-level ability in the history of Beilang City. Even if you look at the entire Shengsha Empire, there are only a few who have awakened S-level abilities. It seems that God blesses our Beilang City. Lu Yunshuan stood up suddenly, excited. The crowd in the audience finally exploded. Oh my god, it's actually S-level. I can see S-level abilities in my lifetime. I have no regrets in my death. It's Zaomeri, who can match her qualifications. I remember that the Yuan family and the Zhao family seemed to want to match Zaomeri and Yuan An, but now that the awakening ceremony is over, the two are like strangers. Just based on Yuan An's 2 garbage abilities, that are worse than garbage, he is not even worthy of licking Zaomeri's feet. During the discussion, some people inevitably mentioned Yuan An. The Yuan family and the Zhao family are both famous families in Beilang City, and their strength is comparable. In addition, Zaomeri and Yuan An are the same age, so the parents of both sides have intentionally or unintentionally brought them together. In fact, they get along well with each other. Zaomeri is beautiful and Yuan An is so handsome that people envy him. But now, this situation seems to be changing subtly. After awakening her superpowers, Zaomeri's face also surged with excitement. Thank you, teacher. Thank you, principal. She bowed slightly to the several instructors and Lu Yunshuan beside her, and then hurried off the stage. Soon, she saw Yuan An, who was expressionless. To outsiders, he couldn't accept this fact and became stupid. In fact, Yuan An was a little impatient waiting, and wanted to finish and go home quickly. After hesitating for a while, Zaomeri still walked over. Now she is like a shining pearl, and wherever she goes, the eyes of others follow her. Everyone looked at her, and walked step by step to Yuan An. Yuan An, Zaomeri called him, holding up her snow-white jade neck like a swan. Yuan An came back to his senses, and looked at the beautiful girl in front of him. Although outsiders thought that the two of them had a good relationship, and even assumed that they would get married in the future, Yuan An knew that he had no feelings for Zaomeri, and that he was only with her because of the relationship between their parents. Zaomeri looked at him, hesitated for a while, and then mustered up the courage to say, Yuan An, let's contact each other less in the future. Chapter 4, The future is worrying. Yuan An, let's contact each other less in the future. Zaomeri stood in front of Yuan An, like a blooming flower, fragrant and beautiful, captivating. But the words she said were as arrogant and cold as a snow lotus of Xianshan Mountain, and she was incomparable. Yuan An was a little confused for a while. Zaomeri continued, I have S-level abilities, but you are double F-level. Our future is destined not to be together, so from now on, we should contact each other less, which is good for both you and me. This time Yuan An understood. Others also understood. Zaomeri was disgusted with Yuan An's ability being too useless, and it was too embarrassing to be with him. They used to be so close. Although there was no clear relationship, both outsiders and Zaomeri thought that she and Yuan An were a perfect match. But now, the abilities they awakened are very different. One is a high ranking, 1 in a million S level, and the other is also a 1 in a million, but low ranking double F level. In a sense, Yuan An and Xiaomei both made a big splash today. The only difference is that they are one world apart. Xiaomei's future is destined to be a meteoric rise to fame and become a well-known strongman in the Shengsha Empire. And Yuan An is destined to be a useless young master who inherits the family business. Such a person is not worthy of Xiaomei. Therefore, Xiaomei decided to draw a clear line with Yuan An and must not be dragged down by Yuan An because of their previous relationship. The gloating on the faces of others was even stronger. Hehe, so pitiful, just awakened the useless supernatural power and is going to be dumped again. Hey, in my opinion, this is what you deserve. In just one day, he suffered such a serious accident. In my opinion, it's better to die. The sarcastic voices around him were like mosquitoes buzzing in his ears, making Yuan An upset. He picked his ears and looked at the flawless and delicate face in front of him and said calmly, Xiaomei, I think you may have misunderstood. I don't think I have ever said that I like you, and I have never said that we will be together in the future. Don't be so self-indulgent, okay? You didn't take my kindness to you in the past as love? Xiaomei's pretty face changed slightly, and she seemed a little annoyed. Then she snorted coldly, Yuan An, don't be stubborn anymore. I know you can't accept this fact, but this is a reality. Who made you awaken the useless double F level superpowers? If you want to blame someone, blame yourself for not being good enough. The people around him all looked gloating, and they all chose to stand on Xiaomei's side. That's right, you, a waste, should not delay our Zhao University campus bell. With your double F level superpowers, are you worthy of standing with our Zhao University campus bell? That's so funny. No one dared to laugh at Yuan An like this before, but now everyone is stepping on him. If it were Yuan An before, or an ordinary person, they would have collapsed at this time. Unfortunately, Yuan An, who is now bound to the system and has awakened the Sharingan and would release, looks at them as if they are watching a joke. Are you done? I'll leave first if there's nothing else to do. My dad is waiting for me at home for dinner. After saying this with a calm face, Yuan An turned around and left the crowd without waiting for Xiaomei to reply. Although the people around him mocked him, no one really dared to stop him with actual actions. After all, no matter how rubbish Yuan An's awakened superpowers are, it can't change the fact that he has a father with A-level lightning superpowers. Verbal mockery is nothing, but if there is real action to insult, it will be completely different. Seeing Yuan An's casual attitude, Xiaomei felt that she was despised, and she also shouted unconvincedly, Humph, you are stubborn now, just don't go home and cry. But Yuan An didn't even look back, and walked farther and farther. The biggest force in Beilang City is Beilang Academy, and below Beilang Academy, there are three major families. The Yuan family, along with the Zhao family and the Bei family, are the three major families in Beilang City. The pillar of the Yuan family, Yuan Zhen, is a famous A-level thunder-type psychic, and his strength has reached the 5th level 5. The levels of psychics are divided from low to high, 1st level, 2nd level, 3rd level, 4th level, 5th level, and 6th level, and each level has 1 to 10 levels. The difficulty of upgrading levels 1 to 10 is not very high, but the difficulty of upgrading is completely different. Many people may stay at the first level 10 for more than 10 or 20 years, while some people may be promoted to the second level in just 2 or 3 years. The first and second levels are the most common levels, and the third and fourth levels are already elite, and the fifth and sixth levels are the top powerhouses. Especially the 6th level psychics are few and far between, and the 5th level psychics are enough to be proud of one side. As a 5th level 5 psychic, Yuan Zhen is ranked among the best in the entire Shengsha Empire, not to mention in Beilang City. So even though the Yuan family's financial resources, industries, and power are not as good as those of the Zhao family and the Bei family, it is Yuan Zhen alone who has raised the Yuan family to the ranks of the 3 major families. Walking back to the Yuan family, what caught my eye was a large manor. This was given to the Yuan family by Beilang City. After all, before Yuan Zhen became a level 5 superpower, the place where their family lived was too small, and it was not worthy of the appearance of one of the 3 major families. Master, you are back. As soon as they entered the manor, Huang Yu, one of the few servants of the Yuan family and Yuan An's personal maid, hurriedly came up. Huang Yu is 16 years old this year and has not yet awakened her superpowers. She was picked up by Yuan An and has been in the Yuan family for 10 years. She can be said to have grown up with Yuan An. Although she is a maid, Huang Yu has always been treated well in the Yuan family, so she has been raised to be fair and clean. Although her appearance is not unparalleled, she can also be regarded as a little beauty. Well, you are back. Yuan An glanced at Huang Yu casually. Today she was wearing a black and white maid outfit, with an apron in front, the hem of the skirt slightly stretched out, revealing a pair of small and slender legs, wearing a pair of thin white silk stockings that were over the knees, hazy and moving. Master, today is the day of awakening superpowers. What superpowers have you awakened? Huang Yu's cute face showed an expectant look. Don't ask questions that you shouldn't ask. Yuan An didn't want to talk about this topic with Huang Yu, a little girl, and left quickly. After crossing the hall, just as he was about to go straight back to his room, a grand and deep voice came. Son, why are you walking so fast? Come here. Yuan An's heart trembled. As expected, he was discovered. He took back his steps and turned to the living room. On the big sofa in the living room, sat a middle-aged man in his 40s with a neat short haircut, yellow skin, and a majestic face. Dad, so you are here. Yuan An walked over with a smile on his face. This person is the head of the Yuan family, Yuan An's father, and one of the 4 5th level supernatural beings in Beilang City, Yuan An. Chapter 5, Angry Dad, Gentle Mom. Dad, you are here. Yuan An came over with a smile on his face. Where else would I be if I were not here? Yuan An looked intimidating without being angry. He patted the sofa beside him and motioned Yuan An to sit over. I'd better sit here. Dad, what can I do for you? Yuan An quickly sat down on the sofa opposite Yuan An. Yuan An said, what do you think? Today is the day when you awaken your superpowers. Report, what superpowers did you awaken today? Yuan An's heart skipped a beat. Sure enough, he still couldn't escape this life-threatening question. Yuan An thought for a while and said, well, Dad, I have good news and bad news. Which one do you want to hear first? Are you playing this kind of game with Dad? Listen to the good news first. Yuan An didn't smile and spoke seriously, which put a lot of psychological pressure on Yuan An. As the head of the Yuan family, Yuan An usually shoulders this responsibility and also shoulders the important task of the head of the executive department of Beilang City, responsible for managing the security inside and outside Beilang City. Being able to lead so many executors, Yuan An also developed a majestic temperament, which invisibly gave people great pressure. Yuan An coughed lightly and said, the good news is that at the superpower awakening ceremony, I awakened the dual superpowers of the spiritual pupil system and the wood system. Dual superpowers? Hearing Yuan An's words, Yuan An was stunned for a moment, and then a burst of excitement suddenly surged on his serious face. Ha 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 ha, dual superpowers. As expected of my son Yuan An, you are so amazing. Yuan An couldn't help laughing out loud, which was enough to show that he was really happy. Yuan An smiled at the side, laughing a little guilty. By the way, what is the bad news you just said? Yuan An was not overwhelmed by joy and still remembered what Yuan An said just now. The bad news is, the 2 superpowers I awakened are both F level. Yuan An, with a nervous heart, still told the truth. Yuan An was stunned again. What does F level mean? Is there such a level? I didn't have it before, but now I have it because of me. F level is 1 level lower than E level. Yuan An said. Silence, only silence. Yuan An's brain was working rapidly, as if he was trying to think about what Yuan An meant by his words. So, you have awakened 2 abilities that are lower than level E. Yuan An concluded. Yes. Yuan An was silent again. This time he was silent for even longer. After a while, Yuan An finally exploded and stood up abruptly. Rebellious son. You rebellious son. How could I, a level A thunder type ability user, have a son like you? Just now he was worthy of being my son, but now he suddenly became a rebellious son. Yuan An's speed of changing his face made Yuan An amazed. Old Yuan, what are you doing again? You are so noisy, and you dare to call Lazio a rebellious son? At this time, a gentle voice with a bit of anger came from upstairs, and a woman in pajamas with a gentle temperament came down. Susan, the hostess of the Yuan family. Mom, So you are at home. I thought you went to work in the information department. Yuan An got up quickly. Isn't today the day you awaken your superpowers? Of course I have to take a leave and come back. Although I can't go to the scene, I have to wait for my baby son at home. Susan smiled and hugged Yuan An. The gentle breath on her body made Yuan An feel at ease. After that, she glared at Yuan An again and said, "What were you yelling about just now? Are you itching to scold our Zioan like this?" "What am I scolding? Ask your son what superpower he awakened today." Yuan An was so angry that he wanted to get angry, but didn't dare to get angry in front of Susan. He could only sit back on the sofa angrily. Hearing this, Susan also looked at Yuan An and asked softly, "Zioan, how is your superpower awakening today? What superpower did you awaken?" "Mom, today I awakened 2 superpowers, the spiritual pupil system and the wood system, but they are both F level, which is worse than E level." Facing Susan, Yuan An told the truth and even felt a little guilty. 2 F level. Susan didn't expect this result and was stunned for a short time. Yuan An continued to rage. "Listen, as my son, Yuan An, you actually awakened 2 F level superpowers. If you tell others about it, won't people laugh at you? What are you arguing about? Is F level superpowers so bad? Are you so powerful with an A level thunder system? If you keep yelling like this, get out of here." Susan was also angry, but she was not yelling at Yuan An, but at Yuan An. These few words made Yuan An stunned. "Zioan, don't worry about your dad. He is a person who is uncomfortable if he is not scolded." Susan turned around and looked at Yuan An, and her tone immediately became a lot gentler. "You don't have to be too discouraged. F level doesn't mean it is definitely useless. Moreover, you have 2 superpowers. Maybe you can create different sparks. Besides, even if your superpowers don't improve in the future and you can't become a main combatant, you can stay at home and be a rich second generation who doesn't have to do anything but eat, drink and have fun. Our family still has the money to support you." Yuan An was very touched. Although he himself had no feelings at all, he certainly couldn't tell anyone about the system he had obtained. But even so, without knowing anything, Susan still accepted the fact that Yuan An had awakened the double F power and was not as angry as Yuan An. This moved Yuan An so much that he wanted to cry. He nodded heavily. "Well, I won't be discouraged, and I will definitely become stronger and slap the faces of those who look down on me. This is also a promise a child makes to his mother. Even if it's not for himself, for Susan, Yuan An must become stronger. By the way, Mom, do we have demon cores at home? I want to." Yuan An suddenly asked. The first step to becoming stronger, of course, is to find a way to earn energy points and use the system to exchange for powerful pupil techniques or would escape ninjutsu. Yuan An's mood was not affected by the 2 F level powers. Yuan An, who was standing by, couldn't sit still again when he heard this. "You are like this now." But just as he spoke, Susan glared back at him again. "You have nothing to do here. Go wash the dishes if you have nothing to do." Yuan An closed his mouth and walked away in disgrace. What a stubborn old man. "Zioan, your father has this kind of temper. Don't be angry with him." Susan comforted gently. "No, I know that my father has this kind of temper." Yuan An still understands Yuan An. Except for his temper, his haste, and his aggressive words, he is pretty good. Only Susan can calm him down with just 1 or 2 words. "Zioan, regarding the demon core, you should have learned the relevant knowledge when you were in the academy. The demon core cannot be used to help practice, do you know?" Susan said seriously, while taking out 2 crystal clear demon cores that exuded pure energy from a space ring on his hand, and placed them in front of Yuan An. Chapter 6. Primary Monster Forest. The demon core is the core that condenses the power of the demon beast. The demon core has many functions. It can be used to strengthen weapons, inlay weapons, form formations, and serve as a power source. But the only thing that cannot be used is for cultivation. Although demon beasts, like superpowers, absorb spiritual energy to cultivate and become stronger, the power of demon beasts is too violent and humans cannot absorb it at all. So although the energy of the demon core is huge, it is of no help for direct cultivation. Yuan, mom still has to ask one more question. What are you going to do with these 2 demon cores? Susan asked seriously. I want to study something, but I will definitely not absorb it directly. Your son is not so stupid as to joke with his own life, so don't worry, mom. After saying that, without waiting for Susan to agree, Yuan An quickly took the 2 fiery red demon cores in her hand and hurried back to the room. In addition to these 2 demon cores, Yuan An also took out his private money, more than a dozen low-grade spirit stones, and threw them to the system to exchange for energy points. The energy point exchange ratio is as follows: low-grade spirit stones, 50 energy points, medium-grade spirit stones, 100 energy points, high-grade spirit stones, 200 energy points. First grade level 1 demon core, 100 energy points. First grade level 2, 120 energy points. First grade level 3, 130 energy points. Second grade level 1, 200 energy points. Second grade level 2, 220 energy points. Third grade level 1, 300 energy points. Third grade level 2, 320 energy points, and so on. Damn, are spirit stones so worthless? Because spirit stones contain a certain amount of spiritual energy, they can become a universal currency, but their value depends on the richness of the spiritual energy of the spirit stone itself. However, because spirit stones are scarce, the most widely circulated currency is not spirit stones, but gold coins issued uniformly by the Shengsha Empire. Even their Yuan family does not have many spirit stones, and these dozen low-grade spirit stones were saved by him for several days. Spirit stones are even more scarce than monster cores, but in the system, spirit stones are less valuable than monster cores. Forget it, a mosquito is still meat. Let's exchange them all. After complaining for a few words, Yuan An still exchanged all these low-grade spirit stones and 2 monster cores for energy points. Ding. 13 low-grade spirit stones, 2 second-level monster cores, a total of 850 energy points. Looking at the extra 850 yuan in the balance, Yuan An was so excited that he quickly opened the system store. Then, Manger Ki Sharingan Amaterasu. 10,000 energy points, Manger Ki Sharingan Tsukuyomi. 10,000 energy points, Manger Ki Sharingan Kagutsuchi. 10,000 energy points, Manger Ki Sharingan Katamatsukami. 50,000 energy points, would release Tree World Birth. 10,000 energy points, would release Flower Tree World Birth. 10,000 energy points, would release Wood Dragon Technique. 10,000 energy points. Looking at the high prices, Yuan An was silent. System, I have a question for you. What, do you have any loan business, or interest-free installment, pay later, free trial functions? Sorry, this system can only deliver goods on a cash basis, no credit, and no loan business. Then how can I buy things with so little money? Yuan An complained to the heaven and earth, wanting to cry but without tears. If you don't have enough money, you can save up enough money to buy it, or buy some other cheap ninjutsu, cheaper ones. Yuan An quickly woke up from his dream and quickly adjusted the system store to rank by price. Soon, rows of low-price ninjutsu appeared in front of him. Would release Wood Spear. 200 energy points, would release Tree Realm Wall. 200 energy points, would release Wood Ingot Wall. 400 energy points, would release Thorn Killing Technique. 400 energy points, would release 4 Pillars Family Technique. 400 energy points, would release Tree Binding Eternal Burial. 800 energy points. These are not bad. Seeing such cheap wood release, Yuan An immediately became interested. But it's still a bit expensive. I can't exchange many ninjutsu with my 850 energy points. Although the price of each of these would release is not as outrageous as those big moves, it is not cheap for Yuan An now. With limited funds, I must exchange for the most cost-effective one, and it is best to have both attack and defense. After thinking carefully for a while, Yuan An finally chose 3 wood releases, Wooden Spear, Tree Realm Wall and Thorn Killing Technique, which have both attack and defense, and the most cost-effective combination. Seeing that the balance was only 50, Yuan An felt distressed. These energy points are too expensive to spend, and he has invested all his savings in the past few years. It seems that I have to get more monster cores to exchange for energy points. Both spirit stones and monster cores can be exchanged for energy points. But spirit stones are too scarce, and the Yuan family doesn't have many spirit stones, and the exchange rate is so low, the cost effectiveness is very low. In comparison, the price of monster cores is much higher, and the number is also large. The only threshold is to have a certain amount of strength to support it, and the source of monster cores is to hunt monsters. That's it, let's go and hunt monsters. Awakening superpowers is a watershed. After completing the awakening of superpowers with life-related superpowers, useless superpowers, and other abilities that are not suitable for fighting, will begin to look for corresponding logistics jobs in the city and start training their life-related superpowers. And combat-related superpowers will begin to prepare to participate in the monster hunting organized by the White Dragon Academy. The way for superpowers to improve their strength is very simple, that is, through continuous fighting and continuous hunting of monsters. Because the more you fight, the deeper your understanding of your own superpowers will be. Hunting monsters can stimulate the killing consciousness in human nature and improve combat comprehension. Therefore, on the 5th day after the end of the superpower awakening ceremony, the instructors of the White Dragon Academy will personally take the lead and lead the newly awakened superpowers to the fixed monster forest to hunt monsters in order to cultivate the practical combat capabilities of the new students. Outside the White Dragon City, the primary monster forest venue. At the entrance, the instructors of the White Dragon Academy and many freshmen have already arrived here. Listen carefully, every group of 3 to 5 people must form a team to enter, understand? The instructor leading the team shouted. Although the monsters here are all low level, these fledgling freshmen are even lower level, and it will take 2 or 3 people to deal with them. Understood? The freshmen answered loudly, and began to look for familiar people to form a team. Yuan An also came here slowly, but the moment he appeared, everyone fell silent at the same time, and looked at him. Yuan An? What is he doing here? Does he want to enter the monster forest too? Stop it, okay. A double F level waste, is he going to die in there? Besides, who would team up with a double F level waste like him? Everyone discussed in a low voice. Almost at the same time, the other side of the crowd became lively again. It's Sayomeri. Is the campus beauty Zayo here too? Sayomeri is S level. It will be very easy if we can team up with her. Don't even think about it. We are not qualified to team up with her yet. Chapter 7, Solo. Yuan An looked over and saw Sayomeri in the crowd, walking like a moon surrounded by stars, with a starry face and a variety of postures. A large number of people surrounded her, with flattering faces and playful smiles, hoping to attract her attention. The Zayo family was originally one of the 3 major families, and now that Sayomeri has awakened to the S level, her status has risen. To put it bluntly, it won't be long before the Zayo family will become the top of the 3 major families. Sayomeri came to the entrance of the primary monster forest in the crowd, and her eyes inadvertently glanced at Yuan An on the side. Her steps paused slightly, and her proud eyebrows raised slightly, with a bit of contempt in her tone. Yuan An, are you planning to enter the monster forest today too? Seeing that Sayomeri, who used to talk and laugh with him, and have a harmonious relationship with him, has become so indifferent in just a few days, Yuan An also sighed helplessly in his heart. On the surface, he said calmly, Miss Ao, are you caring about me? Didn't you say a few days ago that we should have less contact in the future? It's only been a short time, and Miss Ao can't hold back her loneliness. She didn't give face, and he didn't give face either. Who is weak? You. Sayomeri's face turned red at Yuan An's words. She hadn't even mocked Yuan An yet, but he mocked her instead. At this time, the only young man who could get close to Sayomeri stood up and sneered. I think he is not giving up, but I want to see who is willing to team up with you. The young master of the Yuan family with double F level superpowers? Yuan An glanced at the young man and recognized him. Bei Shiankan, the young master of the Bei family, has awakened superpowers of B level power, ranking second among all the awakened freshmen. The first one is of course Sayomeri, S level ice. Although the difference in their ability levels is a bit large, Bei Shiankan is the second person besides Sayomeri after all, and the Bei family is also one of the 3 major families. It is not surprising that he can walk with Xiaomei. In the past, Xiaomei and Yuan An often walked together, leaving Bei Xiangkan aside. Now the situation has changed. Bei Xiangkan has replaced Yuan An, and it is his turn to mock Yuan An and vent all the anger he suffered in the past. Looking at Bei Xiangkan, who was secretly complacent, Yuan An was too lazy to pay attention to them, and walked straight to the entrance of the monster forest. The instructor at the entrance looked at him, and kindly reminded him, to enter the monster forest, at least 3 people are needed to form a team. But the instructor also knew that no one on the scene would be willing to team up with a double F level ability, even if the other party was the young master of the Yuan family. Ding. Trigger task, solo primary monster forest, task reward. 1000 energy points. The system suddenly sounded and issued the first task. Yuan An raised his eyebrows slightly, then glanced at the instructor calmly and asked, "It is recommended that 3 people form a team, but there is no rule that requires 3 people to form a team, right?" The instructor was stunned for a moment, and then said with a slightly sarcastic tone, "It is not a mandatory requirement, but do you still want to go in alone?" It's not that he looked down on Yuan An, but everyone present, except Xiaomei, did not have the qualifications and ability to enter the monster forest alone to hunt monsters. Not to mention a useless superpower with double F level. Facing the instructor's sarcasm, Yuan An turned a deaf ear and strode into the primary monster forest without hesitation in the surprised eyes of everyone. He went in. He actually went in alone. Does he want to die so much? Good guy. I've seen people who want to die, but I've never seen someone who is so eager to die. They can even foresee the scene of Yuan An being eaten by monsters, and not even a bone is left. When he officially stepped into the entrance of the primary monster forest, Yuan An felt that the space around him was distorted, and the scenery in front of him changed, and soon he was sent to a lush forest. The primary monster forest was a place specially set aside by the White Dragon Academy for the new students to hone their skills. Most of the monsters here are from level 1 to level 3 of the first order, which is the lowest level of monsters. Generally speaking, a first order level 1 supernatural being who has just awakened his supernatural power only has a most basic attribute supernatural power, and his combat power is about the same as that of a first order level 1 monster. But Yuan An is different. Although he is still only a first order level 1, he has the skills of the 3 Megatama Sharingan and several would escape ninjutsu. His comprehensive combat power is enough to rival that of a first order level 3 monster. This is also the reason why he dared to come in alone. Target, hunt monsters. Yuan An searched quickly, and soon, in a patch of grass in front, he found a first order level 1 demon blood monkey. "It's you." The demon blood monkey was still eating bananas on a tree, so Yuan An took action and quickly formed seals with both hands. Wood style, wooden spear. A huge tree broke out of the ground, turned into a sharp wooden spear, and shot towards the demon blood monkey. Whoosh! The sharp whistling sound attracted the attention of the demon blood monkey. It turned around quickly, and saw the wooden spear coming. It jumped on the tree flexibly and dodged. So flexible? Yuan An was a little surprised. This was also the first time he used it against a monster. When he was studying in the academy before, he read the information about the demon blood monkey in the monster encyclopedia E-level, power system. The level of supernatural powers of monsters and humans is similar, from level 1 to level 7, from level 1 to level 10. The only difference is that, because the spiritual power absorbed by monsters is too violent, monsters at the same level of supernatural powers are much stronger than humans. The E-level supernatural power of monsters is comparable to the D-level supernatural power of humans. Roar. The demon blood monkey finally locked onto Yuan An as its target, and roared angrily. It kicked its limbs on the ground fiercely, and its body, which was more than 1 meter tall, turned into a black shadow, and flew towards Yuan An at an extremely fast speed. Yuan An dodged at the first moment, but his clothes were still accidentally torn, leaving several scratches on his skin. Squeak. The demon blood monkey made a provocative cry. This beast is quite fast. Yuan An patted his clothes and his eyes slowly focused. The next moment, a pair of scarlet pupils appeared, and 3 black Megatama condensed in them. Sharingan. Then let's see if you can be faster than my Sharingan. Squeak. The demon blood monkey suddenly grabbed a handful of soil and threw it out, confusing Yuan An's vision, and then quickly attacked from another direction. But this time, all its movements were exposed by Yuan An's Sharingan. I see. Yuan An flashed and dodged the attack of the demon blood monkey perfectly. At the same time, he quickly formed seals with his hands, wood style, thorn killing technique. A dozen tough thorn vines suddenly grew out of the grass next to him, like flexible tentacles, surrounding the demon blood monkey from all directions and tightly entangled it. The demon blood monkey wanted to struggle, but Yuan An did not give it any chance. He formed seals with his hands again, wood style, wooden spear. Puff. Two sharp wooden spears directly pierced through the demon blood monkey's body. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 8, Illusion Sharingan. Puff. The demon blood monkey was killed. Yuan An walked over, took out a dagger from his waist, endured the bloody scene, and pried open the demon blood monkey's skull. Inside, a dark red demon core that looked like a marble was still emitting a scorching temperature. Demon core, got it. Yuan An took out the demon core directly. At the same time, a faint and very weak spiritual energy dissipated from the demon blood monkey and was absorbed into Yuan An's body. Ding. Congratulations to the host for successfully killing the first order, level 1 demon beast, and gaining 10 experience points. There are still experience points. Yuan An was stunned for a moment, and then immediately opened the system panel, and saw that an experience bar had been added to his level at some point. Host, Yuan An age 18 realm, first order, level 1. 10 experience points are required to upgrade to the next level. I can actually gain experience and upgrade by hunting demon beasts. Yuan An's eyes lit up. With a clear upgrade experience bar, it would be completely different. He could know more clearly when he could upgrade and become stronger. Next, Yuan An was full of motivation at this time. After quickly dealing with the body of the demon blood monkey, he immediately went to find the second demon beast. There were quite a few demon beasts in the primary demon beast forest. In just 3 hours, Yuan An hunted enough 10 first order level 1 demon beasts, allowing his realm to successfully upgrade to first order level 2. Ding. Congratulations to the host for successfully upgrading to first order level 2, and reward 100 energy points. There are still rewards for upgrading? Yuan An raised his eyebrows, a little surprised and happy, but isn't this 100 energy points a little less? It doesn't reflect the face of your system. If you don't want it, I cannot reward you in the future. No, number 100 Yuan is also love. System, you can take a rest. Yuan An did not dare to refute a word. After upgrading to first order level 2, the power of his ninjutsu also increased a lot. The deadline for entering the primary monster forest is 4 hours. You will be forcibly teleported out after 4 hours. Now there is 1 hour left, and you can find 2 more monsters. After upgrading, Yuan An's condition has recovered. His spiritual energy is full, and he can fight again. Next, I can find a level 1 and level 2 monster to practice. Muttering, Yuan An continued to look for monsters. Outside the monster forest, the instructor at the entrance was observing on a virtual screen. On the screen, the real-time situation of everyone in the monster forest was displayed, and the big screen next to it also listed who had hunted the most monsters so far. At this moment, the name ranked first made the instructors present and everyone who came out in advance dumbfounded Yuan An. The first place was Yuan An, who hunted 10 monsters. The second place was the highly anticipated Xiaomei, but she only hunted 8 monsters, and the third place was Xiankan, with 7 monsters. Most of them only hunted 3 or 4 monsters. Because many people are in teams, and the individual ranking requires the number of monsters hunted by the team to be evenly distributed to each person, so the number of individuals is very small. Xiaomei and Xiankan were in a team, and they were also the freshmen with the strongest superpowers, so it was normal for them to have such a result. But Yuan An, what made him rank so high? Exclamation mark. Teacher, is there something wrong? How could Yuan An be ranked so high? Someone questioned the teacher. Not only was Yuan An not eaten by the monsters, but he was also far ahead and rushed to the first place. Question mark? He was even alone, without a team. How is this possible? Exclamation mark. There must be something wrong with the system. There must be something wrong. Let me see. The teacher was also checking what was wrong. But the system showed that everything was normal, without any problems. There were indeed 10 fewer monsters in the monster forest where Yuan An was. This was a fact. The space that each team entered was demarcated, and the fewer monsters there could only be killed by Yuan An, and there could not be other reasons. But Yuan An was just a piece of trash with double F level superpowers. What made him rank so high? There were many teams outside the field, and their levels were not low. They were basically all D level, and there were also a few C level teams. Their teams were all forcibly teleported out in time when they were in danger of life because they could not defeat the monsters. They were like this, so how could Yuan An persist for so long and even come in first place? Could it be that the Yuan family gave him some cheating stuff? Suddenly someone said faintly. As soon as this was said, it immediately attracted the approval of many people. Yes, it must be like this. Otherwise, how could he, a rubbish with double F level superpowers, beat the school beauties Ao and Bei Xiankan? How shameless. The discussion outside was still in full swing, and Yuan An in the monster forest had found his target monster, a first order second level Linshu shrimp. Linshu shrimp, D level water system, 2 meters long, huge. 2 huge shrimp claws, each one is 1 meter long, and you can tell at a glance that it is full of power. The dangerous thing about monsters is that in addition to their superpower attributes, their physical strength is basically not weak. Especially for monsters of huge size, even if they are not of the power type, their physical strength is enough to rival that of humans. The shrimp in front of him can be seen to have good combat power at a glance. Dang dang dang. The shrimp in front of him also found Yuan An. After the huge shrimp claws patted the hard shell on its body, a stream of water suddenly spurted out of its mouth and shot towards Yuan An. Yuan An was well prepared. The scholar Sharingan monitored the movements of the shrimp in the water and saw the traces of the flow of spiritual energy in its body. So almost when the shrimp in the water launched an attack, Yuan An quickly ran to the side and avoided the water column. At the same time, his hands quickly formed seals, wood style, wooden spear. 2 sharp and huge wooden spikes broke out of the ground and attacked from both sides. Catcher. The shrimp in the water reacted quickly. The 2 huge shrimp claws were its strongest defense. It easily clamped the 2 wooden spears and crushed them into pieces. But Yuan An was waiting for this moment. He decisively formed seals with his hands again. Wood style, thorn killing technique. Swish. Tough thorny vines flashed over and entangled the 2 huge claws of Linshu shrimp, making it unable to break free in a short time. Yuan An took the opportunity to rush towards Linshu shrimp. Puff. Linshu shrimp did not sit still and wait for death. With its claws bound, it directly spurted out a stream of water from its mouth. Wood style, tree realm wall. A tough vine shield rose up and blocked Linshu shrimp's attack. At the same time, Yuan An approached Linshu shrimp and looked at the huge shrimp eyes that were spit out with his Sharingan and condensed illusion. Sharingan. Chapter 9. Who says you can't get first place in F class? Boom. Illusions are mental attacks that can ignore all physical defenses. There are also illusion abilities in the special category, but they are extremely rare because the requirements for illusions are too harsh. But if you can awaken the illusion system, it can be called the strongest mental attack method. The lower the realm, the weaker the resistance to illusions. For a first level 2 monster like Linshu shrimp, the illusion defense is basically equal to 0. Under the illusion of Yuan An's Sharingan, Linshu shrimp immediately stopped struggling, and its huge body fell down. Performing so many human ninjutsu at once, as well as the pupil technique of the Sharingan, caused a lot of consumption to Yuan An. Now my spiritual energy is not very sufficient. If I want to continue fighting, I still have to be thrifty. Taking a deep breath to adjust his breath, Yuan An stood up and walked to Linshu shrimp, took out a dagger and stabbed it hard through the gap in the shrimp shell. Now he is very familiar with dealing with such things. After a while, he decomposed the body of Linshu shrimp and dug out its first level 2 monster core. It should be almost time. This battle was a bit over time. Yuan An weighed it up and decided to stop here today. He had consumed a lot of spiritual energy, so there was no need to continue. He had killed so many monsters on the first day of actual combat, which was enough. Time passed bit by bit, and soon it was the stipulated 4 hours. A burst of spatial force enveloped Yuan An and teleported him out. Only when the time is up, and he is automatically teleported out, can he be considered to have successfully passed the primary monster. Outside the primary monster forest, figures were teleported out one after another. Compared with the number of people who were teleported in at the beginning, only less than a quarter of them lasted for 4 hours in the end. Yuan An was teleported out, and Xiaomei and Beishiankan were also teleported out, and appeared next to him. Seeing that Yuan An was teleported out with them, the two were a little surprised. Obviously, they didn't expect Yuan An to be able to hold on for so long. Yuan An, I didn't expect you to be able to hold on. It's not easy. Beishiankan showed a hint of sneer on his face. Yuan An didn't even bother to look at him. At this time, the instructor announced the results of the pass. The first place in the primary monster forest is Yuan An. As soon as this was said, Xiaomei and Beishiankan both looked back at the big screen recording the points with a look of shock. It was clearly recorded that Yuan An killed 10 first order level 1 monsters, and 1 first order level 2 monster. Xiaomei, who ranked second, killed 10 first order level 1 monsters. Beishiankan, who ranked third, killed 9 first order level 1 monsters. The results of the two of them can be said to be the best in the entire ranking list. But Yuan An surpassed them. How is this possible? How could Yuan An kill so many? Doesn't he have dual F level abilities? The people who came out later saw this result for the first time and expressed complete disbelief. If Yuan An could kill so many monsters, then they should have killed 10 or 100 times more. Xiaomei and Beishiankan were also very surprised. But soon, Xiaomei said, Yuan An, entering the monster forest is to hone your own strength. What's the point of you relying on Uncle Yuan and others to get the results? Beishiankan also echoed, now this kind of trial has to rely on the help of the family. What will you do in the future? Xiaomei's words immediately made everyone suddenly realize, so that's it. I said how could he have such a high score? Even this kind of trial has to rely on the means of the family. It's really shameless. Everyone was mocking again. Yuan An glanced at Xiaomei and Beishiankan indifferently, without too much explanation, just said indifferently, instead of caring about me, you might as well care about how to avoid being robbed of the first place by a double F level waste like me. His words immediately made Xiaomei and Beishiankan look a little ugly. This double F level waste, when mocking, is not inferior to them at all. In the future, you should care less about me, and more about yourself. Don't be inferior to a piece of trash like me. After leaving these words with a sneer in front of everyone, Yuan An turned around and left, completely ignoring the changing eyes of those around him. Ding. Congratulations to the host for completing the task. Solo brushing the primary monster forest. Obtained task reward. 1000 energy points. As the system settled the task, Yuan An's balance immediately increased by 1000 energy points. Then, he exchanged all the monster cores he obtained from brushing the monster forest this time, a total of 10 first order level 1 monster cores, and 1 first order level 2 monster core, into energy value. The unit price of a first order level 1 monster core is 100 energy points, the unit price of a first order level 2 monster core is 120 energy points, and a total of 1120 energy points were exchanged. Adding the task reward and the previous balance, the balance in Yuan An's account suddenly became 2170. 2000 energy points. I can redeem a lot of good things. Yuan An couldn't help it, and opened the system store on the way home, and slid directly to the interface of wood release wood ingot wall. 400 energy points, would release explosive gun tree. 600 energy points, would release great forest technique. 600 energy points, would release sea of trees. 600 energy points, would release all things in the forest. 1000 energy points, would release wood clone. 1000 energy points. Yuan An took a look, and with his current financial resources, he could only afford these. On the other hand, he really couldn't afford the pupil techniques of the Sharingan. A casual pupil technique of Manjaki Sharingan would cost tens of thousands. In his current situation, He couldn't save so many energy points, so he could only redeem some practical wood release to improve his overall combat effectiveness. It's not cheap either. After taking a closer look at these wood releases, Yuan An fell into the dilemma of I want them all, and I just regret that I don't have enough money. It's really hard to choose. After thinking hard for a while, Yuan An finally decided, system, exchange me for the Sea of Trees, Great Forest Technique, and Wood Clone. Ding. Deduct 2000 energy points. Successfully exchanged for Wood Style, Sea of Trees, Wood Style, Great Forest Technique, Wood Style, Wood Clone. Wood Style, Sea of Trees, a mini version of the Sea of Trees, summoning a small forest, which can be used for attack or defense. Wood Style, Great Forest Technique, summon a large area of trees from the arm to attack the enemy, and can also be used to defend against attacks. Wood Style, Wood Clone, split out a wood clone that is almost exactly the same as the original body, which is difficult to distinguish, and can be used to confuse the enemy, or as a feint. These three wood styles have good cost effectiveness, and are very practical. It is good to save energy points, to exchange for some powerful main Gekyo Sharingan techniques, but with Yuan An's current realm, even if he opens the main Gekyo Sharingan technique, he will not have enough energy to use. On the contrary, these wood styles, which do not consume much energy, are the most suitable for him now. Chapter 10, Brush, Brush, Brush. Yuan An won the first place in the primary monster forest trial, which also set off a lot of discussion. Most people think that Yuan An used some cheating methods, otherwise, with his double F useless ability, how could he surpass Zaomedi and Baishiankan to win the first place? In their opinion, Yuan An is now a cheating clown. Despise him, look down on him. For such a person, it is useless, even if he gets the first place by cheating. Once he encounters real danger in the future, he will be out of business. As the object of discussion, Yuan An has no time to deal with them these days. He has been busy in various primary monster forests recently. There are 5 primary monster forests managed by Beilang City to provide practical training for freshmen. They are level 1 to level 3, level 1 to level 5, level 3 to level 7, level 4 to level 8, and level 7 to level 10. There are a total of 5 primary monster forests, including monsters from level 1 to level 10, and the emphasis is on a comprehensive challenge. Yuan An originally wanted to clear all the monster forests, but except for monster forest number 1 and number 2, the monsters in monster forest number 3, number 4 and number 5 were too powerful. For safety reasons, he decided to stay in monster forest number 1 and number 2 and clear them all peacefully. Primary monster forest number 1. Raw. A level 3 fire explosion wolf was looking at the human in front of it angrily, and then suddenly spewed out a huge fireball with a diameter of more than 1 meter from its mouth, and rushed towards Yuan An. Feeling the hot air wave coming towards him, Yuan An was not in a hurry, and quickly formed seals with both hands. Would release. Great Forest Technique. A large area of trees was summoned from his arms, instantly smashing the fireball of the explosion wolf into pieces, and then the tough and sturdy trees continued to run straight towards the explosion wolf. Roar. The exploding wolf was not so easy to deal with. Facing the trees that were rushing over, it decisively opened its big mouth. Its sharp fangs flashed coldly, and in an instant, all the trees were torn into pieces. Roar. Seeing that the fireball attack was ineffective, the exploding wolf decisively changed its tactics, running on all fours, and quickly rushed towards Yuan An. Finally, it jumped high, its fangs flashed coldly, and a woo bit Yuan An's neck fiercely. Crack. The sound was a bit dull, as if the teeth were stuck in the wood. The exploding wolf suddenly found that the taste seemed to be a bit wrong, and then found that Yuan An, who was originally killed by its bite, turned into a wooden man. Wood style, wood clone. Wood style, Sea of Trees birth. Before the exploding wolf retreated, another voice sounded, and a large area of trees grew wildly, and broke out of the ground, and countless vines were like crazy tentacles, densely packed. When the exploding wolf realized that something was wrong, and tried to dodge, the wooden clone it bit suddenly turned into a tree, trapping it and making it unable to escape in a short time. Then, the rushing trees directly swallowed the exploding wolf. Ding. Congratulations to the host for successfully killing the first order level 3 monster and gaining 30 experience. Ding. Congratulations to the host for successfully upgrading to the first order level 3. After dealing with this monster, Yuan An just reached the first order level 3. Then he skillfully found the body of the exploding wolf in the forest and dug out its monster core. The time should be almost up. I have already upgraded to the first order level 3. Next time I can go to the second monster forest. Yuan An murmured. After a while, the space was distorted, and when the time limit was reached, he was forcibly teleported back to the entrance. There are basically people coming to the entrance every day. Yuan An's sudden teleportation also surprised many people. Why is he here again? Who knows? He relies on cheating methods and comes here every day to swipe resources from us. He really has no shame. Several people discussed in a low voice. At this time, the big screen at the entrance of the number 1 monster forest recorded the ranking of each person who entered the trial, as well as the cumulative ranking. Every year, a new batch of freshmen will refresh the ranking, and the records of this batch of freshmen have been released. On the cumulative ranking list, the first place is Yuan An, with the number of monsters killed. 30 first level 1 monsters, 10 first level 2 monsters, and 5 first level 3 monsters. Far ahead of the second place Zaome's 20 first level 1 monsters and 5 first level 2 monsters. And the third place Sharingan's 15 first level 1 monsters and 2 first level 2 monsters. Their records are unprecedented among freshmen. But Yuan An's record is even more exaggerated than this. You know, this is only the 5th day since their batch of freshmen officially entered the number 1 monster forest trial field. Yuan An, the number 1, has been on the top of the list for 5 consecutive days. Although many people insist that Yuan An cheated, they have to admit that this result surprised them. Even the instructor in charge of the number 1 monster forest couldn't help but look at Yuan An a few more times, but didn't say anything. There are some things that other students can say, but they, as instructors, can't say anything. Ding. Congratulations to the host for successfully dominating the number 1 monster forest ranking for 5 consecutive days, completing the task, dominating the list for 5 days. Reward. 1000 energy points. Yuan An usually ignored them and walked towards home. Master, you're back. As soon as she got home, the girl Huang Yu hurried forward to greet Yuan An. Huang Yu was wearing a black and white maid outfit today, and her straight and slender legs were wearing a pair of silk black stockings, making her look particularly mature and charming. Yuan An looked at it for a few more times, and then retracted his gaze. My father and his wife haven't come back yet? The head of the family and his wife said they will come back for dinner tonight. As Yuan An's exclusive maid, Huang Yu followed closely all the way. Okay, no need to follow me. I'll go back to my room. You go to the kitchen to cook a few more dishes. Yuan An asked Huang Yu to stay and returned to his room alone. As soon as he returned to his room, Yuan An couldn't wait to throw all the monster cores he had accumulated in the past few days to the system to exchange for energy points. Ding. 20 first level 1 monster cores, 9 first level 2 monster cores, and 5 first level 3 monster cores. The total price is 2000 plus 1080 plus 650 equals 3730. Not even 4000. Yuan An was a little disappointed. He had brushed so many times, but the result was only this little energy value. Even if the 1000 reward from the task was added, it was only more than 4000 energy points. It was still a long way from his goal. It seems that starting tomorrow, I have to go to the number 2 monster forest to brush it well. Yuan An quickly reaffirmed his belief. He now has the strength to go to the number 2 monster forest and work hard for a few more days, and he will be able to save up 10,000 energy points. And with 10,000 energy points, he can exchange for some Manjaki Sharingan techniques. Just thinking about it makes people excited. Chapter 11. Family Quarrel. Dad, Mom, you're back. Yuan An just went downstairs and saw Yuan Zhen and Susan had already returned. Both of them hold important positions and rarely come back. Yuan Zhen is the head of the executive department of Beilang City. He usually stays in the executive department to deal with big and small things and is so busy that he is nowhere to be seen. Susan is an intelligence officer in the information department and is also very busy. Basically, he has to leave Beilang City every few days to perform tasks. Although the Yuan family is one of the 3 major families, it does not mean that they don't have to do anything. On the contrary, as one of the 3 major families, they have to bear great responsibilities, and it is not easy at all. Well, Yuan, have you missed your mother these days? Susan laughed and gave Yuan An a big hug. The gentle fragrance of maternal love made Yuan An feel warm in his heart. Family has always been placed in the most important position in Yuan An's heart. It's time to eat. Yuan Zhen's voice broke the warmth of the mother and son at an inopportune time. Yuan, let's eat first. Yeah. Yuan An and Susan sat down quickly. A family of 3, the food is delicious. There is nothing warmer than a family having a meal together. Yuan, let me ask you, what have you been doing these days? Yuan Zhen put a piece of braised pork in his mouth, chewed it for a few times, and asked, what else can I do? I just play around every day. Anyway, I have graduated from the White Dragon Academy and have nothing to do. Yuan An said. The instructor in charge of the monster forest at the White Dragon Academy found me a few days ago and said that you participated in the trial of the monster forest and you beat Xiaomei and Bei Xiankan and won the first place, right? Yuan Zhen raised his head calmly and looked at Yuan An. Yeah. Yuan An didn't think about it, but nodded calmly. Is our Yuan so powerful? Susan on the side was full of surprise. But the instructor said that they suspected that you cheated and used some means to complete the trial. Yuan Zhen continued. His face was always calm, and it was hard to tell whether he was angry or not. Instead, Susan was somewhat unhappy. Why, old Yuan, are you doubting our son now? Don't you allow our son to be talented? Whether I doubt it or not, I should at least know what's going on, right? Yuan Zhen did not quarrel with Susan. The point of the argument now is not whether they believe Yuan An, but how Yuan An did it. Double F level is recognized as a garbage ability. Even if Yuan An is their son, they can't go against the facts and believe it. According to previous experience, E level ability is already a useless ability, not to mention F level. But I think it's not that the ability level is useless, but that they are not good enough. But I have the confidence to make my 2 abilities stronger than other normal abilities. Yuan An said seriously word by word. Yes, I believe Yuan, I can definitely do better than others. Susan looked kind. I just want you to tell me clearly whether you cheated. Yuan Zhen looked into his eyes. No, I did everything with my real strength. Yuan An replied. That's fine, let's eat. Yuan Zhen simply let go of this topic. By the way, Yuan, how are you and Xiaomei doing recently? Susan suddenly asked. I heard that you 2 seem to have had a quarrel recently. Although they have been busy these days, they still know something about the new students. Yuan An did not hide it and told the truth. Well, now she has awakened the S level ice power, and I only have double F level power. Can others still look down on me? If they don't like me, then they don't like me. I originally thought that Xiaomei's personality is not very good. It's good that you 2 broke up. Yuan Zhen on the side said coldly. I haven't been with her, so there is no such thing as breaking up or not, okay? Yuan An reminded Yuan Zhen to use accurate words. Susan felt it was a pity. That's a pity. I saw that you 2 have such a good relationship. I thought I could wait 2 years for you to get married and give me a big fat grandson. Yuan An and Yuan Zhen looked at her at the same time, and the father and son rarely showed the same shocked expression. Mom, I'm not as anxious as you. Yuan An was speechless. Why are you so anxious? Do you think you're still a kid? My only wish now is to see you get married and have children, and then my mission will be completed. Susan said seriously. How dare you say that? Yuan Zhen also looked disgusted and said to Yuan An, Yuan, don't listen to your mother. Why do you want to get married so early? In this way, when you reach level 5 of the first stage, you can come to the executive department as a new recruit, which will definitely make your strength soar rapidly. Yuan, don't listen to your father. What's the good of the executive department being so dangerous? Of course, it's better to come to our information department and be a clerk. Susan said. Do you think your information department is safe? If you don't have any skills, you don't even know how you died. If you come to our execution department, at least you can know what dangers there are. You are a bunch of fools who rush in when you know there is danger. The two suddenly quarreled. Yuan An couldn't stand the buzzing feeling in his head, so he got up and said, "I'll go back to my room first. Dad, Mom, you should also go to bed early." After that, he ran away and let them quarrel to their heart's content. The next day, when Yuan An got up, Yuan Zhen and Susan had already disappeared. Yuan Zhen is the director of the execution department, and Susan is the deputy director of the information department. They are both busy people, so it's normal not to see them at home. "Master, breakfast is ready." Huang Yu was waiting for Yuan An at the door early in the morning, and he was very considerate to get warm water for him to wash. Yeah. Yuan An looked at Huang Yu a few more times. It's still pleasing to the eye to have a beautiful and cute lolly maid to look at early in the morning, and the mood of the day will be better. After breakfast, Yuan An had already made a plan for today to enter Monster Forest number 2. He urgently needed to improve his strength and then hunt a large number of monsters so that he could save money to exchange for the eye technique of the Manjaki Sharingan. Soon, Yuan An arrived at Monster Forest number 2. According to the normal process, new students who have just awakened their superpowers basically have to train in Monster Forest number 1 for half a month and reach the first level 2 before they can come to Monster Forest number 2. Even if it is faster, it will take more than 10 days. And Yuan An only took 5 days to brush Monster Forest number 1 several times and reach the first level 3. The speed is unprecedentedly fast. Therefore, until he came to Monster Forest number 2, there was no one here. But this was exactly what Yuan An wanted. He did not hesitate and walked in directly. Chapter 12. I'm still number 1. Monster Forest number 2. This time, Yuan An faced 3 golden monkeys of level 2, D-level power. Oh. The 3 golden monkeys made unpleasant noises and attacked at the same time, rushing towards Yuan An from 3 different directions. Ape and monkey monsters are air monsters that behave similarly to humans. This time, Yuan An did not choose to use wood release to fight. Today, I will use the 3 of you to train my Sharingan. Yuan An's eyes slowly turned into a pair of Scholar 3 Magatama Sharingan, and his cold pupil power locked onto the 3 golden monkeys. At the same time, he slowly pulled out an 80cm long standard short sword from his back. Bang! With his feet stomping hard on the ground, Yuan An, holding the short sword in his hand, decisively rushed towards the golden monkey in the middle. Squeak! The golden monkey swung his arms, clenched them into fists, and fiercely blasted towards Yuan An. Even the air was beaten with a whistling sound. Sharingan. Yuan An's eyes focused, and with the power of his Sharingan, he could see through the movements of the golden monkey in the middle, and also the movements of the 2 golden monkeys next to him. Swish. In the shortest time, Yuan An had found the most perfect way to deal with it. With his clever body shape, he dodged the attacks of the 3 golden monkeys at the same time. Then, the standard short knife in his hand drew a sharp arc of light in the space, and with the most fierce attack, he cut the heart of the golden monkey in the middle. Puff. Blood splattered, and the heart broke. Squeak. The 2 golden monkeys on the left and right saw their companions being killed, and they were immediately furious. They let out sharp roars from their mouths, and their powerful arms quickly beat their chests, bursting out all their strength, and rushed towards Yuan An at the fastest speed, determined to avenge their companions. But even if they burst out at the fastest speed, they were still too slow in front of Yuan An's Sharingan. All the actions were full of flaws in Yuan An's eyes. He decisively slashed the ground with his standard short knife, stirring up a cloud of dust that filled the vision of the 2 golden monkeys, and then pierced the heart of a golden monkey with another knife. Squeak. The last remaining golden monkey was completely overwhelmed by anger, waving his arms wildly and rushing towards Yuan An quickly. When facing the Sharingan, losing one's composure is the biggest taboo. Illusion Sharingan. Yuan An directly used an illusion to deal with the last golden monkey, and then also ruthlessly ended its life with a sword. The 3 first order level 2 golden monkeys were not the opponents of Yuan An, who was first order level 3. It was just that Yuan An wanted to exercise his Sharingan this time, and did not use wood release, so it took so long. Although he is not qualified to exchange for the Manjaki Sharingan now, even the ordinary 3 Magatama Sharingan should be used frequently, because only by using it frequently can the pupil power be better exercised and last longer. After all, the Sharingan is also a thing that pays attention to the more you use it, the better it is. It was just a pity for the 3 golden monkeys. They could have been easily dealt with, but in the end they were tortured by Yuan An. After getting all the demon cores skillfully, Yuan An continued to look for the next target. Although the number 2 demon beast forest has demon beasts from level 1 to level 5, the most Yuan An has seen are still level 1, 2, and 3. So far, he has not encountered a level 4 demon beast, let alone a level 5. But he came here this time to find level 4 or 5 demon beasts. Otherwise, why didn't he stay in the number 1 demon beast forest and come here? It seems that we have to go deeper. Yuan An determined the direction and walked towards the deepest part of the forest, the entrance of the number 2 forest. According to the normal process, today is only the 6th day, and it is true that no new students will come to the number 2 demon beast forest so quickly. But this year there is an exception. Susanoo, as the first S-level supernatural power in Beilang City for decades or even hundreds of years, her speed is naturally faster than everyone else. At the beginning, because everyone had just started to use it, even if they were S-level, their practical experience was equivalent to 0. So on the first day, everyone was standing at the same starting line. But as time went on, the advantage of higher level soon emerged. Susanoo, in just 5 days, reached the first level 3, successfully surpassing all students over the years and breaking the record. Therefore, with this condition, she naturally did not have to stay in the number 1 monster forest and was qualified to come to the number 2 monster forest. Although Sharingan, who was in the team with her, was a little weaker, he was also pulled over because of the team with Susanoo and left the number 1 monster forest together. However, when they left, the cumulative highest record holder in the number 1 monster forest was still Yuan An. In this regard, the attitude of the two was to open up the pattern, not to lower their own value, to compare with a double F level ability, and to compare with themselves. Therefore, they simply abandoned the record of the number 1 monster forest and came directly to the number 2 monster forest. In this way, no matter how Yuan An maintained a high record in the number 1 monster forest, the record of being the first to enter the number 2 monster forest would be taken by them. The number 2 monster forest is ahead. Even the instructors haven't come yet. We must be the first to come. Sharingan said with a smile, with pride in his tone. It's the 6th day to come to the number 2 forest. I'm afraid there won't be another one in the entire White Dragon Academy. Susanoo smiled slightly, charming and moving. Let's go. Now only the number 2 monster forest is suitable for us. As they said, the two walked to the entrance of the number 2 monster forest. But when they walked to the entrance, they found that the big screen showed that someone had entered the number 2 monster forest. And they were familiar with this name, Yuan An. Yuan An? He's already inside? Now the two of them were a little uneasy. They thought that coming to the number 2 forest would be faster than Yuan An, but they didn't expect Yuan An to be faster than them, and had already arrived here early. Moreover, the screen showed that Yuan An had been in there for 3 hours, and killed 15 first level 2 monsters and 3 first level 3 monsters. This record is far ahead. Why is it him again? How could he be faster than us? Susanoo gritted her teeth. She really couldn't understand. She was obviously the dazzling freshman of White Dragon Academy, but why was it Yuan An who walked ahead of them every time? Question mark? It's okay for those who know that Yuan An has double F abilities, but those who don't know would think that Yuan An is not double F abilities, but double S abilities. A double F ability, but he has been suppressing them. 1 S level and 1 B level? This number 2 monster forest is not like number 1 monster forest. We can find Yuan An after we go in. Then we will know whether he is cheating or really capable, right? Sharingan suddenly showed a sneer on his face. Chapter 13, B level and S level, seconds, would release, thorn killing technique, puff. The tough and thorny vines were like countless sharp blades, piercing a first order level 4 monster into a hedgehog. Yuan An cut open its skull and took out the monster core. Now there was still half an hour left before the end of his round of trials. Half an hour. If I'm lucky, I can kill 2 or 3 more monsters. After weighing it, Yuan An began to prepare to look for the next target. Just as he was about to leave, 2 people suddenly appeared in front of him. Susanoo, Sharingan. Seeing the two people clearly, Yuan An was a little surprised. How did these two people come to Monster Forest number 2? Unlike Monster Forest number 1, Monster Forest number 2 and later no longer allocates a separate space area for each person, but puts everyone in the same Monster Forest. After all, it is not a simple matter to allocate a separate area for each freshman, and it requires a strong space-based psychic to do it. They were separated in Monster Forest number 1, so that they could hone their experience in dealing with monsters in actual combat, and then they would go to Monster Forest number 2, 3, 4, and 5 for real fighting. Therefore, it was not surprising that Yuan An met Xiaomei and Bei Xiangkan here. Level 4 monster of the first order. Wow, our young master Yuan has made great progress. Bei Xiangkan taunted, glancing at the monster. Yuan An ignored Bei Xiangkan and turned to leave. Bei Xiangkan stopped him and taunted, "Why are you in such a hurry to leave? Are you afraid of cheating because we are here?" Yuan An finally looked at him and said, "If you really have nothing to do, then go home and play in the mud. Don't come to such a dangerous place. This place is not suitable for mentally retarded children." "You called me mentally retarded?" Bei Xiangkan was immediately furious. "I didn't say that. You jumped into the pit yourself." Yuan An shrugged. Xiaomei, who was watching from the side, was helpless. "But, great. Since you have also come to the number 2 Monster Forest, I would like to see for myself how you, a rubbish with double F abilities, can achieve such a result." Bei Xiangkan was furious. He bent up his sleeves, and the muscles of his arms bulged. His arms, which were originally as thin as a piece of firewood, suddenly became muscular and full of strength. Strength system, B level. The power of the strength system is very simple, which is to continuously improve one's physical strength, from the possibility of killing a pig with one punch at the beginning to killing a monster with one punch later. It is the purest improvement of physical strength. Yuan An, come on, let me see what you, a rubbish with double F abilities, are capable of. Bei Xiangkan had long wanted to beat up Yuan An. Since awakening his superpowers, although Yuan An has double F abilities, he has caused a lot of people to laugh at him. But whether it is the first time he passed the trial of the number 1 Monster Forest, or the subsequent speed pass and record breaking, they are all dazzling. Obviously, they are the most dazzling existences of awakened superpowers among the freshmen this time. But all the light was taken away by Yuan An. He couldn't accept it. You can't fight privately outside, but here, anything can be said to be done by the monster. Alas. Yuan An shook his head with pity. Just when Bei Xiangkan thought he was about to surrender, Yuan An suddenly moved. His figure disappeared with a swish. Bei Xiangkan suddenly felt a strong gust of wind blowing in his face. Without any hesitation, he clenched his fists, and the strong force gathered in his fists along his arms, and was about to hit. But Yuan An was faster than him. He didn't know when he held a branch in his hand and swept it down on Bei Xiangkan's arms fiercely, leaving a bright red mark, which made Bei Xiangkan grimace in pain. Although he is a power type and has strong strength, it doesn't mean that he can ignore this pain now. "You fucking horse." Bei Xiangkan was furious and was about to get angry and twist off Yuan An's head next to him. But before he could do anything, the branch in Yuan An's hand was already against his throat. The sharp tail tip exerted a little force, cutting the outermost layer of skin, oozing a little blood. Although it's not a sword, the branch can still pierce your throat. "Do you want to try?" Yuan An said lightly. Bei Xiangkan's movements froze for a moment. Yuan An, Xiaomei, who was standing beside him, just opened her mouth and wanted to say something. Yuan An turned back suddenly, and a pair of scarlet Sharingan met Xiaomei's eyes. Boom. In just a moment, Xiaomei suddenly felt as if her whole body had fallen into an endless ice cave. Her whole body was cold, and her mouth couldn't say a word. Illusion Sharingan. S level. Seconds. Nothing to say. "I just hate you a little bit now, so please show up in front of me less in the future. Otherwise next time, it won't be so simple." After leaving this sentence lightly, Yuan An turned around and walked deeper into the monster forest. It was not until then that Xiaomei was released from the illusion, gasping for breath. At that moment just now, she found that her consciousness was still very clear, but she couldn't move no matter what. That feeling was too scary. Is this his spiritual pupil ability? Zaomedi was a little scared. Baishiankan, who was standing by, also swallowed hard. He could still feel the stinging pain from the spikes on his throat. Isn't he a double F ability? How can he be so strong? After experiencing it personally, both of them clearly felt that Yuan An did not use any so-called cheating methods. He simply used his own strength to crush the two of them. The two of them, one B level and one S level, were completely powerless in front of a double F level? Question mark? It seems that he has deceived many of us. Zaomedi was still frightened. Leaving Zaomedi and Baishiankan behind, Yuan An took advantage of the remaining time to kill another first level 3 monster, and then was sent out. There is still enough time, I can brush another round. Seeing that it was still early, Yuan An simply went in to brush another round. Of course, when he went in the second time, he did not meet Zaomedi and Baishiankan, so the brushing was very smooth. After 2 rounds a day, he harvested more than a dozen monster cores, all of which were converted into energy points. Seeing the balance constantly rising, Yuan An was full of motivation. In the following days, he devoted himself to gaining experience and money. Every morning when he got up, he had breakfast with the gentle service of the cute lolly maid, and then went to the monster forest without stopping. 1 round in the morning, 1 round in the afternoon, twice a day. When he returned home in the evening, the cute lolly maid came to greet him again, served him dinner and bathed him. This kind of life is repetitive but meaningful, not boring at all. And the first pass records of the major monster forests were all taken by Yuan An. Chapter 14. The gap between us is too big. First pass record for the second primary monster forest, Yuan An. 5 first level 1 monsters, 7 first level 2 monsters, 5 first level 3 monsters, and 2 first level 4 monsters. First pass record for the third primary monster forest, Yuan An. 2 first level 3 monsters, 5 first level 4 monsters, and 1 first level 5 monster. First pass record for the fourth primary monster forest, Yuan An. 8 first level 4 monsters, 1 first level 5 monster, and 1 first level 6 monster. First pass record for the fifth primary monster forest, Yuan An. 2 first level 7 monsters. Everyone looked at the first pass records of the 4 monster forests behind, and they were dumbfounded. Today is exactly 1 month after the awakening of the superpower. It is also the last day for their freshmen to end the trial in the primary monster forest. After today, they can officially go to the fierce, brutal, and disorderly monster forests outside the city to hunt monsters. And this month has passed. Most people are still in the number 1 primary monster forest and cannot set foot in the number 2 primary monster forest. Only a small number of freshmen with C level or above are eligible to go to the number 2 primary monster forest. Zaomedi, who has received much attention and is like the brightest star among the stars, only opened the number 4 monster forest on the last day, but she also failed to pass it. But no matter which monster forest, the first pass record on the big screen at the entrance is always the same name, Yuan An. This name is like an invisible mountain, which makes all freshmen dare not have a trace of overstepping. Even Zaomedi has to admit that she is indeed not as good as Yuan An. This guy. It's the last day, and he is still repeatedly brushing the number 5 monster forest. It was almost dusk, and basically everyone came out of the monster forest. Only Yuan An was left fighting in the number 5 primary monster forest. Number 5 primary monster forest would release thorn killing technique. Yuan An formed seals with his hands, summoned a large piece of thorns, tore through the sky, and attacked the first order 8 level double-winged flying snake on the opposite side. Hiss. The huge double-winged flying snake flapped its wings and flew high in the sky, easily avoiding Yuan An's vines. Then, the double-winged flying snake opened its mouth and spewed out a swift lightning from its mouth, fiercely striking Yuan An. Wood style, wood ingot wall. Yuan An quickly formed seals with both hands, summoned 2 rows of curved arched wooden rafts from the ground, formed a solid defense in front of him, and blocked the lightning. Seeing that his attack was ineffective, the double-winged flying snake flew its huge body, opened its bloody mouth, and pounced on Yuan An fiercely. That huge body was comparable to the power system of the same level. Seeing this, Yuan An did not dare to be careless at all, and hurriedly formed seals with both hands. Wood style, great forest technique. Square wooden strips shot out from its arms and quickly tied up the double-winged flying snake. Crack, crack, crack. But the double-winged flying snake's physical strength was extremely amazing, and it directly used its body to forcibly break Yuan An's great forest technique. Hiss. The bloody mouth bit Yuan An fiercely, and the sharp fangs directly tore Yuan An's body in half. But the double-winged flying snake felt that this taste seemed to be wrong. Snap. Yuan An, who was torn in half, slowly turned into a wooden substitute. Got you. In the bushes on the other side, Yuan An's original body put his hands together, would release. Sea of trees descends. Boom. Huge trees tore the earth and rushed up, like a surging river, quickly submerging the double-winged flying snake. Would release. Wood spear technique. Yuan An summoned 10 huge wooden spears in one breath, and directly stabbed the double-winged flying snake to death on the spot. Ding. Congratulations to the host for successfully killing the first order level 8 monster and gaining 80 experience. Ding. Congratulations to the host for successfully ascending to the first order level 6. As the system's words rang, Yuan An felt the fatigue in his body swept away, and all the consumed spiritual energy was restored. Until he cleared the number 5 primary monster forest, he was only at level 5, and now he has reached level 6. This flying monster is really hard to deal with, Yuan An complained as he skillfully dug out the demon core of the double-winged flying snake. In this month's campaign, he has fought hundreds of monsters, and basically encountered all kinds of monsters. Among them, flying monsters are the most difficult to deal with. Fortunately, he has recently developed a corresponding method. That is to use the wooden clone to feint and attract the flying monsters, and then the main body will sneak attack and take them down in one fell swoop. These primary monsters cannot go against their hatred for humans and their nature. As long as they see humans, they will definitely take action. And the characteristics of the wooden clone are not something that a small monster can see through. Therefore, Yuan An's method has a 100% success rate so far. It's just a bit time consuming. It's done. Let's stop here today. Yuan An put away the demon core, and just in time, the time was up, and the space was distorted, forcibly transmitting him out. The entrance to the number 5 monster forest. As the space twisted, Yuan An was the only one who entered this trial, and he was the only one who successfully came out. As soon as he came out, he was shocked to see the entrance full of people. When did so many people appear in the number 5 monster forest? Do they all want to go in? Looking around with a puzzled look, Yuan An was not too curious and just left. This time, no one dared to mock him or stop him. Everyone watched Yuan An leave silently. After he left, the cumulative ranking was updated again on the big screen at the entrance of the number 5 primary monster forest. Yuan An, 2 first level 7 monsters, 2 first level 8 monsters. Everyone looked at the refreshed record and fell silent. Even Xiaomei and Bei Xiankan, looking at this record, while they were not convinced, had to admit that they were not as good as Yuan An. They were still in the number 3 and number 4 monster forests, while Yuan An had already cleared the number 5 monster forest twice. Moreover, he successfully killed 2 first order level 7 monsters and 2 first order level 8 monsters. In just 1 month, he was able to achieve such a speed, which even the instructors of the White Dragon Academy were amazed. Yuan An, I will definitely catch up with you. Looking at Yuan An's departing back, Xiaomei clenched her fists tightly. She has the confidence and strength. S-level ice system. At the beginning, it is true that there is not much difference. This is because their potential has not really begun to be activated. But as long as the S-level potential is stimulated, Xiaomei's strength will soar rapidly. At that time, Xiaomei doesn't believe that she can't catch up with Yuan An. Exclamation mark. Double F ability. No matter how strong it is only double F ability. It can't be stronger than her S level. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 15, Amaterasu. Yuan's house. Inside the room, Yuan An did not hesitate to exchange all the monster cores he had saved recently for energy points. His energy points increased by more than 6,000 at once. and his balance also went from more than 4,000 to 11,200. Finally 10,000. Yuan An was very excited when he saw the balance breaking 10,000. He had worked so hard to save monster cores for so long, and finally he had saved 10,000. Open the system store. Yuan An opened the system store without hesitation, and then opened the Manjaki Sharingan's eye technique for the first time. Manjaki Sharingan Amaterasu. 10,000 energy points. Manjaki Sharingan Tsukuyomi. 10,000 energy points. Manjaki Sharingan Kagutsuchi. 10,000 energy points. Manjaki Sharingan Katamatsukami. 50,000 energy points. Manjaki Sharingan Kamyu, empty. 50,000 energy points. Manjaki Sharingan Kamyu, distorted. 50,000 energy points. Manjaki Sharingan Susanoo. 50,000 energy points. Forbidden Eye Technique Izanami. 50,000 energy points. To be honest, as soon as he saw Katamatsukami, he knew that his assets did not allow him to continue looking down. The gap between 10,000 energy points and 50,000 energy points is still very large. In fact, there are only 3 eye techniques that he can exchange now: Amaterasu, Tsukuyomi, and Kagutsuchi no Makoto. Yuan An was in a dilemma again when he had to choose one of the 3. Amaterasu and Kagutsuchi no Makoto were similar, and the one who really had to make a choice was Amaterasu or Tsukuyomi. Amaterasu was known as the strongest physical attack method and would not extinguish until the target was completely burned, but its battle record was embarrassing, and it could not burn anyone to death. Tsukuyomi was known as the strongest single-person human illusion, in which all time and space were controlled by the caster, and the 72 hours spent in the illusion were only a moment outside, and its battle record was very good. Yuan An was now hesitating between these 2 eye techniques. After thinking it over and over again, he finally chose Amaterasu. Although Amaterasu's battle record and reputation were not very good, she still had the hard power. Amaterasu was more suitable for Yuan An than Tsukuyomi, because Amaterasu was a physical attack method and could attack in groups. However, no matter how strong Tsukuyomi was, it was only an individual attack, and it could not deal with multiple enemies at the same time. In the next period of time, Yuan An would mainly face monsters, and a group of monsters instead of just one monster. Tsukuyomi can naturally work on monsters, but for a group of monsters, the effect is still not as good as Amaterasu, which can attack in groups. Moreover, the Sharingan itself also has its own illusion. Although it is not as good as Tsukuyomi, it is enough for the same level. Therefore, after considering many factors, Yuan An finally decided to exchange Amaterasu first. Ding. Spend 10,000 energy points to successfully exchange for Manjaki Sharingan Amaterasu. Amaterasu, the strongest physical attack. Summon the eternal flame of Amaterasu. Burn all objects within sight, and never extinguish before burning the target. Usage limit 0/5. After the number of uses reaches the upper limit, you will lose light forever and fall into endless darkness. Please use it with caution. Damn, there is a limit on the number of uses? Yuan An suddenly felt that he had been fooled. A big fool. One Amaterasu, but he can only use it 5 times? So few who can use it. Although he knew that ordinary Manjaki Sharingan pupil techniques would indeed cause blindness if used too much, Yuan An still found it a little hard to accept. I should have exchanged forward release first. At least there would be no limit on the number of times. I can use it as many times as I want. Yuan An silently complained, but still accepted this fact. There were still more than 1,000 energy points left, so Yuan An didn't keep them, and directly exchanged for a wood release. Tree binding eternal burial. Open the system panel. Host, Yuan An age. 18 realm, first order level 6, 0/700. Aura attributes, wind, fire, water, thunder, earth. Power level, Sharingan, A level, wood release, S level, Manjaki Sharingan. Left eye, S level, power, Manjaki Sharingan, Amaterasu, wood release, tree binding eternal burial, wood release, sea of trees birth, expandable. Seeing this interface, Yuan An was very satisfied. It only took 1 month to upgrade to first order level 6. Amaterasu opened a single eye Manjaki Sharingan and there were several wood releases with strong overall strength. With his current comprehensive combat power, he can fight even a level 2, level 1 superpower. Master, it's time for dinner. Huang Yu's soft and sweet voice came from outside the door. Coming. Yuan An rolled over and got out of bed, dressed neatly and went out. Outside the door, Huang Yu did not wear a maid outfit today, but changed into a pure and beautiful off-shoulder white dress. The girl's delicate skin was exposed in the air, and the girl's tender body fragrance filled the air. Xiao, you are very beautiful today, Yuan An teased. The girl was really embarrassed, her face was red and pink, like an apple. Thank you for the compliment, master. Yuan An did not stay for too long, and went downstairs to eat soon. Susan is back tonight, and Yuan Zhen is probably still busy in the executive department. Mom, how come you have time to come back tonight? Yuan An walked quickly to Susan's side. Today is the day you graduated from White Dragon Academy for a month. It is also the day you completed the trial and officially left the freshman status. Of course I have to come back. Susan grabbed Yuan An's hands, looked him up and down carefully, and nodded with satisfaction. Well, you are healthy and safe, that's good. Sit down and drink the soup. Susan served him a bowl of lotus root and pork bone soup. Yuan An took a sip and praised, well, it tastes good. As soon as you drink it, you know that it must be made by the old lady herself. If it tastes good, drink more, it will help you grow. Susan had a loving face and gentle eyes. Today I heard that you are the first among your batch of freshmen to pass the number 5 monster forest, and you passed it twice, is that right? Well, the monsters in the number 5 monster forest are quite strong. I fought for a long time. Yuan An nodded. Hearing this, Susan was very pleased. Very good, you are worthy of being my good son. The girl from the Zhao family despises you, she has no vision. So what if you are S level? You are still not as good as our Xiao. Yuan An grinned. From tomorrow, you can officially leave the city. So mom reminds you that people outside the city are not like people in the city. They are mixed and cruel. If you go out, remember not to trust anyone easily. Susan said seriously. Well, I know, I will definitely not trust others easily. Yuan An nodded seriously. He has always been obedient to Susan's words. And Susan has never made any excessive demands on him, and many things are left to Yuan An. Therefore, the relationship between the mother and son is much better than the father-son relationship between Yuan An and Yuan Zhen. Chapter 16. Leaving the city. The next morning, Yuan An woke up early. Susan was not at home when he got up again. He didn't know when she left. And today was the first time in a month that Yuan An didn't have to think about going to the monster forest to hunt monsters. Because from today on, he has abandoned his identity as a freshman and can enter and leave Beilang City freely. And he finally exchanged for a kind of Manjaki Sharingan pupil technique, achieved a small stage goal, and was qualified to rest. Let's go to the city outside today. Yuan An was full of energy, got up, brushed his teeth, and prepared to have breakfast. Master, good morning. Every day when Yuan An got up, Huang Yu would appear in front of him and help him prepare clothes to change. Good morning, Xiao. You are dressed so beautifully today. Yuan An looked at her casually and couldn't help but be a little surprised. The girl wore a light blue floral dress today, which was cute, lively, and bright. Huang Yu was originally a cute, soft and beautiful little Lalita. She was very beautiful when she wore a maid outfit. Now she has a more unique charm when she wears ordinary clothes. Unfortunately, Yuan An has no interest in Lalita. He likes big sisters with big breasts and long legs, gentle and considerate, rather than petite and cute little Lalita sisters with ordinary figures. Yes, master, the lady gave me a day off today. Huang Yu nodded his head and blinked his eyes. Oh, that's good. Go and do it if you have something to do. Although Huang Yu is his personal maid, her status is actually higher than that of ordinary maids. Because she was picked up by Susan and was homeless, she stayed in the Yuan family and raised her as her own daughter, and then became a personal maid for Yuan An. But none of Yuan An and his friends really treated her as a maid, but as a family member. It was just because Huang Yu was sensible when she was picked up, and she was always grateful, so she always put herself in the position of a maid and served Yuan An. By the way, why do you want to take a leave? Yuan An asked casually. Because today is my birthday. Huang Yu whispered. Yuan An suddenly realized. He has been too busy recently and forgot that today is Huang Yu's birthday. Every year when Huang Yu celebrates her birthday, she will go out alone and then come back to have dinner with everyone in the evening. Yuan An has never asked Huang Yu where she went out. This is her own secret and there is no need to ask more. Forgot? Then you can do your own thing. Come back tonight to have dinner together. I will bring you a gift. Yuan An said. Yes, thank you, young master. Huang Yu nodded heavily. Is there anything you want? As long as it is given by the young master, I like it. Huang Yu said seriously. Okay. After chatting for a few words, Yuan An gave Huang Yu a day off and let her do her own thing. After he finished breakfast, he officially walked towards the outside of Beilang City. In this world, monsters are prevalent and order is chaotic. Under the rule of the Shengsha Empire, cities centered on academies were built, such as White Dragon City. These cities are directly under the Shengsha Empire and can obtain support from the Shengsha Empire. They are the safest places for humans in existence. In addition to this kind of city, there are also various miscellaneous cities that are not under the jurisdiction of the Shengsha Empire, which are called disordered cities. Disordered cities are a mixed bag, with order collapsed and human nature dark. They are filled with various rebels, bounty hunters, mercenary organizations, underground auction cities, etc., forming an alternative city. Although this kind of city is chaotic, it also has some other alternative benefits. That is, you can freely conduct various transactions, including weapons, armor, potions, monster cores, etc. The cities under the jurisdiction of the Shengsha Empire, although the order is stable and safe, have many restrictions. Many things sold openly must be inspected and controlled. Although they are cheap, they are mediocre and not easy to use. The cities outside are different. Various modified weapons, various magical armor, etc. are deeply loved by everyone. Therefore, anyone who wants to pursue something exciting can only go to the cities outside. Of course, in addition to the city, there are all kinds of uncontrolled ferocious monsters outside. Once you leave the city, you may be attacked by monsters at any time. Therefore, without some strength ordinary people dare not leave the city. Yuan An soon came to the city gate, and the executor guarding the city checked his information. Yuan An, 18, spiritual pupil system, F level, wood system, F level. In this month, the achievements created by Yuan An have long been known to the people of the entire White Dragon City, but the executor guarding the city still asked as usual, it's dangerous outside, and monsters are prevalent. Are you sure you want to go out? If it were someone else, as long as the conditions were met, they would not ask more questions. But Yuan An is different. He is Yuan Zhen's son. And Yuan Zhen is the director of the executive department, that is, their immediate superior. Facing the son of their immediate superior, they must of course care. I'm sure. Yuan An said. The two executors looked at each other, as if they were communicating something with their eyes. Yuan An said directly, you don't have to tell my dad about this. He won't say anything, and will still let me out. Okay. The two executors finally chose to let Yuan An go out of the city smoothly. Outside the city, there is an endless dense jungle, and only the wide road in the middle is clear. The creatures in this spiritual revived world thrive, and the plants grow very fast. Basically, as long as there are no humans, there are green trees and shade the sky. It is precisely because of these dense trees that the monsters have an environment to reproduce. Little brother, do you want to take a car? As soon as Yuan An came out, a man with a smile on his face took the initiative to greet him. Behind him, there was a row of flying cars. The so-called flying car is a frame made of a mixture of metal and wood, and the shape is similar to the car in Yuan An's memory. The only difference is that the flying car has no wheels and moves forward in suspension. The flying car is powered by the demon core, so it can fly half a meter above the ground without wheels, which is very environmentally friendly. It only needs to consume one first order level 1 demon core for 100 kilometers, which is completely pollution free. Flying cars can be said to be the greatest invention in the world. Yuan An thought for a moment, then nodded and asked, how much does it cost to go to Hualahei City? Hualahei City is the largest disordered city nearby, and it is not far from Beilang City, only less than 10 kilometers. Only 10 silver coins will be enough, the man said. Nodding, Yuan An got on the flying car behind the man and set off towards Hualahei City. Chapter 17. Hualahei City. Hualahei City is a disordered city located 10 kilometers away from Beilang City. It is also the largest disordered city within 100 miles. The permanent population here is as high as 100,000, which is comparable to Beilang City. The biggest difference between Hualahei City and Beilang City is that one is a city directly under the Shengsha Empire, and the other is a disordered city. Therefore, although Hualahei City is large in scale, its order is much more chaotic than Beilang City. Brother, we are here. The flying car stopped in front of the gate of Hualahei City. Yuan An paid the fare, got off the car, and looked at the huge gate in front of him. Every city will build a high wall, which is a line of defense against monsters. Even if there is no strict city lord like Hualahei City, the people living in it will spontaneously raise money to build high walls. Because they know better than anyone that this city is their place to stay. If this city is breached by the monster tide one day, they will have nowhere to go. Hualahei City. Silently reciting the name of the city, Yuan An stepped in. As soon as I entered Hualahei City, I was greeted by a surging and noisy atmosphere like a tide. Entering from the city gate, there is a street that runs through the entire city. On both sides of the street, there are crowded shops. There are blacksmith shops, weapon shops, armor shops, monster core shops, medicine shops, dry food shops, sundry shops, etc. Every shop has more or less people surrounding it. Some are buying things, some are selling things, and all kinds of bargaining sounds are mixed together, filling the entire street. Yuan An was a little confused by the noise, and his head was buzzing. This place is much more lively than Beilang City. There are also all kinds of people. For example, mercenaries full of hostility and blood, rebels with sinister breath, and businessmen with smooth faces. Of course, there are also long-legged queens with simple clothes and exposed navels, petite and cute but cold-faced lolly, and mature ladies covered in blood but not caring. All kinds of people make up the different scenery here, which dazzles Yuan An. It took him a while to sort out his thoughts and start looking at the nearby shops. In the weapon shop, there are ordinary weapons and weapons inlaid with various demon cores. Weapons inlaid with demon cores can have the same attribute power as demon cores, and their power is comparable to supernatural powers. They are absolutely sharp weapons. If you can get a good inlaid weapon, your combat power can be said to be completely at a different level. The same is true for armor. The defense power of armor inlaid with demon cores can be greatly improved, which is an absolute means of saving lives. Of course, the better the things are, the more expensive they are. The price of any weapon or armor inlaid with demon cores is basically 10 times or even dozens of times that of ordinary armor. Yuan An took a look and found that even the lowest level weapons inlaid with first order level 1 demon cores start at 100 gold coins. Ordinary armor ranges from hundreds of silver coins to several gold coins. 1000 silver coins equals 1 gold coin. And 100 gold coins are the living expenses of ordinary people for half a year. Of course, for non-ordinary people, this amount of money is still affordable. For example, bounty hunters and mercenaries, who often make a lot of money by working on the edge of a knife, need such life-saving equipment or sharp weapons, and they also have enough money to buy them. Therefore, the business of these inlaid weapons and armor is quite good. It seems that I can't buy many pieces with this money. Yuan An grabbed his purse, which contained only 200 or 300 gold coins. This was the pocket money he had saved for more than 2 months. He could buy it, but if he spent all his money to buy a weapon, it didn't seem to be worth it. He couldn't buy inlaid weapons, but he could still buy ordinary weapons. Yuan An looked around quickly and soon saw a pair of 6 diamond darts in a weapon shop. With a Sharingan, how can you not have some throwing weapons? Yuan An raised his eyebrows, walked over quickly, picked up a dart and weighed it, and then asked, "Boss, how much are these?" The shop owner was a short, fat, and Mediterranean man, wearing glasses and polishing darts. When he heard someone asking, he turned around and looked. The diamond darts, 50 silver coins each. It's quite cheap. I want 200. Do you have them? A lot. Take them yourself. The shop owner was obviously a man who had seen the world. 200 darts were not a big deal for him. He casually pointed to a box in the corner of the room, which was full of diamond darts. Yuan An went to clean up by himself, carefully selected 200 darts, put them all in the space storage bag behind him, and then put a gold coin on the table. He was about to leave when he suddenly saw the shop owner pick up a diamond dart, then picked up a first order, level 1 fire demon core, and stuffed it into the gap in the middle of the diamond dart. As the spiritual energy in the shop owner's hand gathered, the demon core slowly melted into the diamond dart, and an explosive diamond dart was made. The price of an explosive diamond dart is 500 silver coins, which is 10 times more than that of an ordinary diamond dart. "Boss, you are still a forging department," Yuan An exclaimed. "What a fuss." The shop owner snorted lightly, without raising his head, and continued to make explosive diamond darts. The forging department is an auxiliary type of special ability. Auxiliary abilities, as the name suggests, cannot be used directly in combat, and the range is very wide, including forging, agriculture, treatment, medicine, etc. Although these auxiliary abilities have no combat capabilities, they can provide great help for combat abilities. The role of the forging department ability is to forge weapons or armor of higher quality and better than ordinary people. At the same time, the demon core can be embedded in weapons and armor through specific methods of using spiritual energy. The forging department is a very popular profession among auxiliary abilities, and has the same status as the treatment department. So this is how you embed the demon core. The shop owner did not hide the process of making the explosive diamond darts at all. Since he was not a forger, he would not be able to learn it even if he watched. But Yuan An was different. Sharingan. Out of curiosity, Yuan An secretly used his Sharingan to record the entire process of the shop owner making the explosive diamond darts, including the special method of using spiritual energy. In this way, I should be able to embed the demon core myself. Muttering in his heart, Yuan An quickly put away his Sharingan to avoid being discovered by the shop owner. Think about what else to buy. Let's buy a birthday present for Susanoo first. After thinking for a while, Yuan An decided to buy a gift first. Soon, he found a jewelry store. Most of the girls in it were rouge pink girls. Of course, there were also many men who were pulled in. Yuan An soon walked in. Chapter 18. Bought it for my maid. The jewelry store was filled with all kinds of earrings, necklaces, jade bracelets, rings, headdresses, etc. The materials were also different, with shiny gold, glittering silver, and crystal. Yuan An felt overwhelmed after just one look, and had no idea how to choose. On the contrary, the girls in the store were very excited to choose, and from time to time they would pick up some jewelry to try on. Yuan An forced himself to appreciate the highlights of these jewelry. First, decide what jewelry to buy, and then the style. Jade bracelets and rings were directly rejected. Necklaces were a bit too tacky and not suitable for little girls. Then the only thing left was earrings. After deciding to buy earrings, Yuan An's eyes quickly scanned the hanging earrings. From his position, he could just see a pair of crescent earrings made of white crystal, which were crystal clear, and gave people a very pure and bright sense of joy. Yuan An inexplicably felt that this pair of earrings would match Huang Yu very well. "That's it, boss. How much is it?" The boss lady looked up and said, 100 silver coins. It's even more expensive than my diamond dart. It turns out that women's money is still easy to make money. Yuan An complained silently and asked the boss to pack up the earrings. He didn't want to choose anymore. Just as the boss lady packed up the earrings and put them on the counter and Yuan An reached out to take them, another hand suddenly grabbed the bag at the same time as him. "I want this pair of earrings." A cold and arrogant voice sounded. Yuan An looked over. The woman was beautiful, with big breasts, a thin waist, a perky butt, and long legs. This was Yuan An's first impression. "Sorry, I've already bought this pair of earrings. Have you picked out the others?" Yuan An looked at the girl in a belly-bearing outfit in front of him indifferently, but he didn't back down. "I said, I want this pair of earrings. Don't you understand what I'm saying?" Zhu Yuxuan looked at the guy in front of her who didn't know what was good for her, frowned slightly, and was a little unhappy. Other people in the store were also attracted by the quarrel between the two. "Isn't this Zhu Yuxuan from the Zhu family? In Hualahai City, there are still people who dare to rob Zhu Yuxuan's things, isn't it?" This eldest lady of the zoo family is easy to deal with. His brother is the gold medal killer of the Shadow Bounty Club. He is very powerful. Who in the whole Huarahe city dares not to give him face? Even the proprietress of the store said to Yuan An at this moment, "Young man, just give up this pair of earrings. There are many other beautiful earrings." She didn't want Zhu Yuxuan to make trouble in her store. "I have already paid the money. The things are mine. I have no reason to give them away." As he said, Yuan An exerted force with his palm and forcibly snatched the bag holding the earrings from Zhu Yuxuan. He didn't give her any face at all. Zhu Yuxuan was very angry. In Huarahe City, there are still people who dare to rob her things? Exclamation mark. "Stinky boy, what's your name? I advise you to give me the earrings in your hand obediently, so that you can pick another pair of earrings for your girlfriend. Otherwise don't blame me for being rude." Zhu Yuxuan pointed at Yuan An and said, "Oh, sorry, I bought this pair of earrings for our maid, not for my girlfriend." Yuan An said calmly, "It's not that he really likes this pair of earrings. It's just that Zhu Yuxuan's attitude made him feel bad. He already paid, and he still wants to snatch it? And with this attitude, he wants Yuan An to give up the earrings. What the hell is he thinking? Maid? Question mark? Zhu Yuxuan was stunned. Others were also surprised. This man was willing to offend Zhu Yuxuan to get the earrings, but he just took them back for the maid? Question mark? This is not the way to humiliate people, right? Zhu Yuxuan was so angry that her proud chest kept rising and falling. "Stinky boy, you want to leave after offending me?" Looking at Yuan An who had already walked outside, Zhu Yuxuan was furious. She suddenly pulled out a long whip from her waist and whipped Yuan An's back fiercely. The sound of the long whip swinging in the air fell into Yuan An's ears. The actual combat with the monsters in the past month has improved Yuan An's fighting nerves a lot. He dodged sideways without hesitation, then grabbed Zhu Yuxuan's long whip with his backhand and pulled it hard. Although Zhu Yuxuan was the first to attack, she was obviously not a strength type. After being pulled by Yuan An's long whip, she fell forward and fell directly on the ground. Silence. The whole audience was silent. Someone actually dared to attack Zhu Yuxuan in public. Is this a bold ambition? Exclamation mark. Unforgivable. I will never forgive you. Zhu Yuxuan stood up with endless anger, completely ignoring the dust on her body, and suddenly pulled back the long whip. The hot flames ignited with the long whip and turned into a fire snake in the air. Go to hell. As the long whip danced, the flames were like snakes, whipping Yuan An fiercely. Yuan An's eyes had already turned into Sharingan. His powerful insight instantly found the flaws in Zhu Yuxuan's attack, and his body easily dodged the attack of the long whip. Then, he took a step forward and approached Zhu Yuxuan. Zhu Yuxuan was startled and was about to retreat, but she saw Yuan An's strange eyes. Illusion Sharingan. Boom. The pupil power was activated, and Zhu Yuxuan was caught by Yuan An's illusion without any preparation and fell down. Yuan An took this opportunity to disappear in the crowd, leaving a group of shocked spectators. The movement over there was only temporary. On the other side of Huarahe City, it was still lively. Yuan An soon came to the other side of the city. This is where various mercenary organizations and bounty hunter organizations organize activities. The transactions here are also very simple. Team hunting monsters, entrusting tasks, etc. Reward: 1 level 5 water demon core of the second order, which can be exchanged for other demon cores of the same order. Reward: 1 level 7 fire demon core of the second order, which can be exchanged for other demon cores of the same order. Team up. Hunting level 10 demon beasts of the first order. Is there anyone willing to go with you? Team up. Hunting level 3 demon beasts of the second order. Is there anyone willing to go with you? Merchants. Going to the territory of level 7 demon beasts to collect herbs requires a level 6 or above supernatural person of the first order. Merchants. Going to the territory of level 10 demon beasts to collect herbs requires a level 6 or above supernatural person of the second order. A series of similar team formation information was posted here, and the requirements were very high. Do you understand that they were level 2? Compared with Yuan An's trial in the demon forest of Beilang City, the requirements outside were indeed much stronger. With his current strength, there were not even a few tasks that he could participate in. This requirement is still too high. It's difficult to deal with. Shaking his head, Yuan An was about to go back. Ding. Triggering task. Complete a bounty/team/hiring task. Task reward. 1000 energy points. Open the mysterious shop. Chapter 19. Infiltrating the team. Ding. Triggering the task. Complete a bounty/team/hire task. Task reward. 1000 energy points. Open the mysterious store. The voice that suddenly sounded in his mind made Yuan An stunned for a moment. The content of the task is secondary. The focus is on the mysterious store of the task reward. What is this thing? It sounds like a store that sells some mysterious things. I don't know what it is. But since it is a task, there is no reason not to accept it. Complete a bounty or team or hire task. Yuan An focused on the task requirements posted on the square. Whether it is team, bounty or hire, there are many tasks, dozens of them, with different requirements, and the content of the tasks is similar. But with Yuan An's current level of level 6 in the first order, there are not many tasks that he can accept. After looking around, there is only one task that he can do, and is still interested in: hiring. Go to the first level 7 monster territory to collect herbs, requiring a superpower above level 6 in the first order. There are also some other teams that require level 4 or 5 in the first order to go, but that is too unchallenging. Yuan An doesn't want to waste time. Although it was for the system's task, if possible, he also wanted to hunt a few monsters outside to see their strength. After deciding on the task requirements, Yuan An walked towards the task that issued the employment. The one who issued the employment task was a pharmacy. They needed to enter the monster forest to collect herbs to make various potions. The pharmacist who made potions was a little different from the therapist who specialized in treatment. The pharmacist could make potions of any function, such as the powerful potion, the defensive potion, the golden gun potion, etc., and he could also make some therapeutic potions. However, the therapeutic potions made by the pharmacist were still somewhat different from those made by the therapist. They were okay for treating ordinary external injuries, but more serious ones required the therapist to handle them. Moreover, the main business of the pharmacist was to make various functional potions, not just therapeutic potions. There is one last spot, and the reward is 1 gold coin. Who will come? The bald fat man who was in charge of finding people shouted. Me. Yuan An successfully squeezed in front of the fat man, and won the last spot. You. The fat man glanced at Yuan An, took out a square board, and placed it in front of him. This is the ability detection board, which can detect your realm level, ability type, and potential level. Detecting the realm level is to confirm that you have indeed met the requirements. And detecting the ability type is to prevent you from sneaking in with some life-related or auxiliary skills. Although this kind of ability can also cultivate realm, the actual combat effectiveness is far inferior to that of real combat abilities. Check your realm, and you can come in, if you meet the requirements. The fat man said. Yuan An put his hand on it, and soon, all the information about him was revealed. Realm, level 6 of the first order. Ability type, spiritual pupil system, F level, wood system, F level. Seeing this result, the fat man was stunned for a moment, rubbed his eyes, and thought he had seen it wrong. Dual abilities, dual F level? There are such low levels? Although dual abilities are rare, they are not uncommon. But it is the first time he has seen double F levels. The people around couldn't help but burst into laughter when they heard the fat man's words. Double F level, and such a rubbish ability? This is even more rubbish than life-related auxiliary abilities. I don't want such a person to join our team, otherwise it will become a joke. Yuan An ignored the laughter around him, just looked at the bald fat man and said, your employment requirement is only level 6 of the first order, but there is no requirement for the ability level, right? No, but little brother, your double F level makes people feel insecure. The realm level determines the lower limit of strength, while the ability level determines the upper limit of strength. Although both are level 6 of the first order, the strength of double F level is definitely weaker than that of normal C level and D level. They are both level 6 of the first order. Why should we find a weaker combat power instead of a stronger combat power? Little brother, you should find another place. We really dare not accept you here. The bald fat man said. Rejected. Yuan An didn't pester him. If he was rejected, he would change to the next one. It's not like he can only join this team. But he once again saw that the double F level was indeed rubbish in the eyes of others. Old date, why haven't you recruited enough people yet? I'm leaving soon. Suddenly a man came and shouted at the bald fat man. Isn't it that you haven't recruited enough yet? Don't you check the time? You know the lady's temper. If you are late, she can peel off your skin. The man suddenly said. Hearing this, the bald fat man remembered a bloody scene in his mind and shuddered. He saw Yuan An, who was about to leave, and hurriedly said, little brother, don't leave yet, it's you. Although it was a double F level, compared with the consequences of being late, a double F level is nothing. Are you sure? Yuan An was a little surprised. Didn't he just dislike him? Why did he want it again? Although it is a double F level, it is at least the first level 6, but the reward should be reduced a little, only 800 silver coins. Okay. The bald fat man bargained. No problem. Yuan An agreed readily. He didn't come for this little reward. It's just because the system's tasks require participation in tasks posted by others. There were more than a dozen people who met the requirements and were recruited around the bald fat man. Seeing that Yuan An was finally recruited, they were all a little disdainful. Although there were also a few people who just reached the passing line of level 6 of the first stage, a double F level could not get their respect. Okay, everyone follow me. The bald fat man greeted everyone and left the mission square. The group soon came to a pharmacy called Wanling Pavilion, where several flying cars were parked, a small car with 4 seats and 2 trucks. The small car was of course for the people of Wanling Pavilion, and the trucks were for these hired people. Miss, everyone is here, we can set off. The bald fat man leaned in front of the car window and said. No one in the car spoke, but just stretched out a piece of snow white arm and waved, indicating that they could set off. The bald fat man got the order and immediately turned around to greet others to get on the car. Although there were 2 trucks, Yuan An and more than a dozen people were all squeezed in the same truck. The other truck was carrying another group of Wanling Pavilion guards. No matter which force hired them, as long as they had their own people accompanying them, they would not hand over all security tasks to hired people. The most important guard work should be handed over to the guards they trained themselves. In this way, 3 cars left to Alahai City. Chapter 20, Kan Mengzi. The primary monster forest is 5 kilometers away from Hualahai City. 2 trucks and a car stopped. Everyone immediately entered the state, occupying all positions to ensure that the vision in any direction would not be missed. Among this group of mercenaries, only Yuan An really had no experience. It was the first time for him to participate in such a mission. They were obviously experienced veterans and had a good position. The guards of Wanling Pavilion were neatly lined up to guard around the car until the door of the car opened. A long leg that was round, smooth, straight and slender without a trace of fat stepped out. This long leg, which was unique in the world, attracted the attention of many men as soon as it appeared, and even Yuan An couldn't help but look over. He only knew that the lady of Wanling Pavilion was sitting in the car in front, but he didn't know what she looked like. Now just based on this leg, he concluded that the other party was definitely not a vulgar woman. Sure enough, the person who got off the car was a tall, mature and charming woman, only about 23 or 24 years old, with a face like peach blossoms, delicate and beautiful, and a faint coldness on her pretty face. The woman wore a short cool white shirt on her upper body and a pair of light blue ultra short jeans on her lower body, showing her curvaceous figure to the fullest. She was a real queen. When seeing the woman for the first time, many people's heartbeats slowed down. Until the bald fat man Yuan An now knew that his name was Kan Fu, the butler of Wanling Pavilion. If you don't want to die, take care of your eyes and watch the road. Kan Fu whispered. After being shouted at by him, a kind of mercenary quickly withdrew his gaze. Although the beauty is beautiful, it is not something that can be looked at casually. Through the discussion of others, Yuan An knew the origin of this woman Kan Mengzi, the boss of Wanling Pavilion, whose supernatural type is the pharmacy system, level B. Although she is a woman, Kan Mengzi is not the same as other pharmacists. With her unique talent, she prepared all kinds of potions, including explosive, fire, water, thunder, poison, and so on. Kyan Mengzi has made a great name for herself in Hualahai City with her amazing potions. Besides, although she is a beautiful woman, she is merciless and has killed at least 50 people. After all, no one who can open a shop in a chaotic disordered city like Hualahai City is a vegetarian. Let's go. Kyan Mengzi's cold and pleasant voice sounded in the team, and everyone immediately set off for the destination. The destination of this trip is deep in the primary monster forest, where you may encounter monsters of level 3 to level 7 of the first order. Most of the people in the team are level 6 or 7 of the first order, and only one of the guards of Wanling Pavilion is level 9 of the first order. Everyone held their weapons tightly and slowly moved towards the destination, with pairs of eyes staring at them from front to back. But they were soon attacked by monsters of various levels. There were level 3 of the first order, level 4 of the first order, level 5 of the first order, and level 6 of the first order, and there were quite a few of them. In less than half an hour, the group encountered attacks from 20 to 30 monsters, and they were all very ferocious. Yuan An also faced a first order level 4 monster, which was much more ferocious than the monster trial field he had in the White Dragon Academy. Faced with so many monster attacks, the group didn't say anything, and they all dealt with them safely one by one. They were paid to do this. And it was a good thing to have monster attacks, which showed that it was worthwhile for Wanling Pavilion to spend the money to invite them, rather than wasting money. Finally, after almost an hour of hard progress, the group finally arrived at their destination, a valley with a narrow entrance, but inside was an open flat land full of various medicinal herbs that could be used as raw materials for potions. Everyone rest here, take turns guarding the entrance, and set off in 2 hours. Kyan Fu began to organize the staff. The mercenaries were responsible for security work, while Kyan Mengzi and others began to pick herbs. Yuan An didn't have to stand guard for the time being, so he sat on the periphery of the grass to rest. While he had nothing to do, he took out a few diamond darts and a few demon cores that he had just obtained by killing demon beasts on the road. Whoever killed the demon beasts in the escort mission would get the demon core. This was also a kind of team reward for the mission, so those mercenaries fought so hard. Yuan An also got 3 demon cores along the way. They were the first level 4th level Thunder Demon Core, the first level 3rd level Fire Demon Core, and the first level 4th level Wind Demon Core. In his mind, he recalled the method of making explosive diamond darts that he had seen in the weapon shop before, and the method of using the spiritual energy in his body. Yuan An followed suit and imitated it exactly, and successfully embedded all 3 demon cores into the 3 diamond darts. In this way, the 3 demon core diamond darts with greatly enhanced power were completed. Yuan An's movements were very small, and no one noticed his situation. The people in Wanling Pavilion continued to collect herbs, and the mercenaries continued to stand guard. At this time, Kyan Mengzi suddenly looked over here and said, "Over there, someone come and help me." Everyone saw that this was a good opportunity, wasn't it? They immediately recommended themselves. Me, choose me. Kyan Mengzi looked through them all, and finally saw Yuan An, who was not as enthusiastic as the others, and pointed with her jade finger. "That little brother, it's you. Come here." Me. Yuan An was stunned for a moment. "Little brother? Question mark?" When the others saw that Yuan An was actually favored by Kyan Mengzi, they gritted their teeth. Why can a double F rubbish get such good treatment? The lady is calling you. Hurry up. Seeing that Yuan An hadn't moved yet, Kyan Fu hurried over and urged Yuan An to go over. "Pull all these up. Don't worry about breaking the roots. Just pull them out." Kyan Mengzi pointed to a large tough looking plant and said, "This needs to be pulled out by hand," and Kyan Mengzi obviously didn't want to use her delicate hands for this kind of thing. Without saying a word, Yuan An honestly pulled out the herbs like pulling weeds. It is indeed very difficult to pull out. Kyan Mengzi looked at him from the side, with a faint smile on her lips, and said in a voice that only the 2 of them could hear, "You are the son of the Yuan family in Beilang City, and you have to help me do hard labor. It's really unfair for you." Yuan An was shocked. Kyan Mengzi actually knew him? He had never been to Hualahai City before, right? Could it be because Kyan Mengzi had been to Beilang City? Suppressing the doubts in his heart, Yuan An said calmly, "Working for money, no matter what your identity is." Kyan Mengzi showed a beautiful smile and said nothing. But the more she did this, the more Yuan An felt that he could not see through this woman. At this time, someone suddenly shouted at the entrance of the valley, "There is a group of monsters." Chapter 21, Demon Wolf King. The monsters are coming. The people guarding the valley entrance suddenly shouted. Just outside the valley, a large group of monsters were rushing in, with a fierce momentum, and there were as many as 20 or 30 of them. Guard the valley entrance, and fight. Qian Fu immediately took over the battle, calm and composed. Although he was fat, and had little fighting power, as the gatekeeper of Wanling Pavilion, he was no pushover. He had been in and out of the monster forest dozens of times, and had rich experience. Earth defense, guard the narrowest valley entrance, and other fire suppression. Under Qian Fu's arrangement, everyone carried out the layout in an orderly manner. Earth method, earth wall. The only 3 earth type ability users in the team joined forces to create a lot of tall earth walls in front of the valley to block the monsters. The rest of the people were behind, releasing various long-range ability attacks. For a while, all kinds of water balls, fireballs, and thunderballs hit the monsters, and many monsters were knocked unconscious at once. But they are not fools who will only take the beating foolishly. The counterattack came soon, and all kinds of wind, fire, water, and mines were dazzling, colliding with the superpowers of everyone in the air, colorful and gorgeous. At the same time, the group of monsters had rushed to the earth wall, relying on their powerful physical strength to force it to break through. But the entrance to the valley was narrow, and the group of monsters could not rush in. This created a good opportunity for Qian Fu and others. Relying on the terrain advantage, and cooperating with the continuous superpowers, the group of monsters was blocked outside the entrance of the valley. There was no way to make them break through in a short time. On this side, Qian Mengzi and others' process of collecting herbs was not delayed. Speed up, finish it early, and leave here early. Qian Mengzi said coldly. Yuan An was responsible for helping her pull the herbs, and it took a lot of effort to finally complete his task. Hurry up, load them all in the car. Just as they were loading the herbs in a hurry, in the valleys around the basin, monsters suddenly appeared, staring at them. Awoo. With a wolf howl, more than a dozen demon beasts rushed down from the tops of the mountains on both sides at a very fast speed. No, we are surrounded. Protect the herbs and retreat. Qian Mengzi first asked the person who was responsible for collecting herbs to get on the car. The guards of Wanling Pavilion drew their weapons one after another to deal with the attacking demon beasts. As a hired helper, Yuan An certainly could not escape. He looked around quickly, and his eyes had turned into Sharingan, firmly grasping the movements of each demon beast. Roar. A hideous demon wolf opened its mouth, and pounced on Yuan An fiercely. With the powerful insight of Sharingan, Yuan An easily dodged the attack and shot 2 diamond darts with his backhand. Dang. The 2 diamond darts collided with each other in the air with a magical trajectory, causing the 2 diamond darts to make a nearly 90-degree turn in the air and directly pierced the 2 eyes of the demon wolf, causing it to fall to the ground and howl in pain. The situation of the others was not bad. Although the monsters were coming aggressively, they were also experienced. While stopping the monsters, they loaded all the herbs into the trucks smoothly. Everyone, prepare to retreat. Qian Mengzi changed her ladylike image and stood on the roof of the car with a swagger, leading the 2 trucks behind her to the exit. The others fought and retreated, and all returned to the trucks. Roar, roar, roar. The monsters at the exit continued to gather. You bunch of beasts, you won't cry until you see the coffin, right? Qian Mengzi took out a small tube of fiery red potion neatly, flicked her finger, and dropped it into the group of monsters. Boom. The potion tube, which was only the size of a finger, exploded into a terrifying wave of fire as soon as it fell into the group of monsters, instantly engulfing the entire group of monsters. Take 2 more. Qian Mengzi threw another tube of cyan and a tube of blue potion in her left and right hands. Bang. Those were energy potions of the wind and thunder systems. The wind blew up the fire, and lightning mixed in it, instantly turning into a huge tornado of wind, fire, and thunder, which turned the group of monsters upside down. It was the first time that Yuan An saw the use of this kind of energy potion, and it was powerful. It was no weaker than the first order level 7 superpower. 3 tubes of potion messed up a group of monsters. This is the strength of a professional pharmacist. Taking advantage of this opportunity, the convoy quickly rushed out of the valley and returned at full speed. Shadows in the woods on both sides approached quickly, and their speed was no slower than theirs. Still not giving up, Yuan An could see that they were all magic wolves, first order level 6, and there were quite a few of them. Don't let them get close to the convoy. Cai Fu immediately organized the mercenaries on the car and began to suppress them with long-range firepower to prevent them from getting close. But at this moment, on the road in front of the convoy, a larger magic wolf blocked their way. Magic Wolf King, second order level 3, earth element, sea level, raw. The demon wolf king slammed the ground with its front paws, and sharp earth cones appeared and spread towards the convoy. In order to avoid the attack of the earth cones, the driver had to force the steering wheel and drive the car to the side. Bang! The flying car hit a tree and was forced to stop. The people in the car were scattered all of a sudden, causing the fire suppression to be interrupted, and the demon wolf group on the periphery quickly approached. Protect the medicinal materials and kill all these beasts. Cai Fu shouted loudly. The truck could not continue to drive all of a sudden, and everyone had to get off the car and form a formation to fight. Ding. Triggering task, kill the Wolf King. Task reward 3,000 energy points. Just as Yuan An and others formed a formation to meet the enemy, the voice of the system suddenly rang in his mind. Kill the Wolf King? He was stunned for a moment and looked up at the second level 3 Wolf King. This is a strong opponent. With his current strength, how could he be the opponent of a second level 3 monster? It's good enough to save your own life. It's even more difficult to kill. But the amount given by the system is too much. 3,000 energy points. This is not a small number. It seems that I can only think of a way to find an opportunity to grab ahead. Yuan An decided secretly in his heart. Now their entire convoy is surrounded by the magic wolf pack. If they want to rush out, they must kill the magic wolf king. At that time, Yuan An only needs to take the opportunity to grab ahead and get the head of the magic wolf king. Of course, the premise of all this is that they can withstand the siege of the magic wolf pack. If they can't, then their fate will only be to become food for the magic wolf pack and be eaten up without leaving any residue. At that time, still kill the magic wolf king? Killing us. Kill. Everyone clenched their weapons, and the sound of killing rose to the sky. No one retreated, and they resolutely rushed towards the magic wolf pack. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 22, Battle Against the Demon Wolf King. Boom. In the avenue, a group of demon beasts and a group of humans were fighting fiercely. A demon wolf pounced on Yuan An, and he quickly formed seals with his hands. Would release. Tree realm wall. Boom. A tough vine wall rose up and blocked the demon wolf's attack. When the demon wolf finally tore a hole in the tough vine wall, it was greeted by a sharp sword blade. The sharp sword energy mercilessly killed the demon wolf. The overall battle situation was relatively stable. But the premise of stability was that the second level third level demon wolf king had not yet taken action. That was the real rival. Raw. It was too late to say that. Yuan An had just looked over, and the demon wolf king had already taken action. As fast as the wind, he rushed towards everyone. Bang. 2 first level 7th level mercenaries were the first to be hit and were directly knocked away by the demon wolf king. There was no need to use superpowers. The demon wolf king relied on his powerful physical strength alone to deal with anyone below the second level. And there was no second level psychic in the team. Leave this beast to me. You guys deal with the other monsters. Just when everyone was intimidated by the aura of the demon wolf king, Cai Mengzi stood up. She faced the demon wolf king directly, without any fear, and even hooked her finger provocatively. Beast, come at me. As if he understood her words, the demon wolf king suddenly abandoned other goals and rushed towards Cai Mengzi. A mere second level 3, you still have no right to be presumptuous in front of me. Cai Mengzi is a first level 8, but she is not a combat psychic, and her ability has no direct combat ability. So if they really fight, she may not even be able to beat a first level 5. But the pharmacist's combat power does not rely on herself, but on potions. Try the good stuff made by this lady. Looking at the demon wolf king who rushed over, Qian Mengzi directly threw out 2 tubes of fiery red potions from her hand. Boom. The potion exploded, turning into 2 huge fiery red fireballs, slamming into the demon wolf king fiercely. The power should not be underestimated. But the demon wolf king directly spit out 2 huge earth cones from his mouth, smashing the 2 fireballs into pieces. It's not over yet. Qian Mengzi threw out tubes of potions in both hands, as if they were free. You know, if these potions were sold normally, each tube would be worth more than a dozen gold coins. But now, Qian Mengzi threw them all out, just to deal with the demon wolf king. Boom. The properties of these potions are various and varied, and the power is not weak enough to rival the first level 8 and first level 9 attacks. Although the demon wolf king is strong, facing such a dense attack, it is difficult to move forward for a while, and is suppressed by the firepower. Raw. But taking advantage of the gap, when Qian Mengzi exchanged the potion tubes, the demon wolf king suddenly stepped on the sole of his foot, bursting out with amazing speed, and suddenly rushed towards Qian Mengzi at an extremely fast speed. So fast, Qian Mengzi was running low on potions, and couldn't find any that would work for a while. Seeing the demon wolf king rushing over, suddenly, would release, tree realm wall. A tough vine wall rose up and blocked Qian Mengzi. Of course, this level of defense couldn't stop the demon wolf king, but it also helped Qian Mengzi by a few seconds, allowing her to successfully find some useful potions. And Yuan An also came to her side. Is it you? Qian Mengzi was a little surprised at his appearance. And Yuan An was only level 6 of the first stage. How dare he wade into this muddy water? You are my employer. I don't want to go without a reward. Yuan An said lightly. In fact, he was just eyeing the head of the demon wolf king. He had already seen that Qian Mengzi's fighting ability was actually not weak, and if he wanted to take down the demon wolf king, he could only cooperate with her. But for Yuan An's kindness, Qian Mengzi just laughed inexplicably and said, if you die, I don't have to pay you. Looking at this ungrateful woman, Yuan An was too lazy to talk nonsense with her. Raw. The demon wolf king tore through the vine wall in a few moves, continued to rush over, jumped up, and his claws drew a frightening arc in the air, slashing at Yuan An fiercely. Would release. Great forest technique. Yuan An quickly formed seals with both hands, and a large number of square wooden strips grew from his arms, wrapped around the demon wolf king, barely buffering its attack, allowing Yuan An time to dodge. Although Qian Mengzi's attitude was not very good, she did not stand idly by and quickly took out a tube of potion and threw it out. Bang! This was a tube of green potion. After breaking, it turned into a ball of poisonous mist and quickly pounced on the demon wolf king. After realizing that it was a ball of poisonous mist, the demon wolf king quickly retreated, but still inhaled a lot of poisonous mist. It will take about 3 minutes for this poison mist to take effect. Hold it back. Qian Mengzi said in a deep voice. Leave it to me. Yuan An did not retreat but advanced, shooting out the diamond darts in his hand one by one. Dang dang dang. The trajectory of all the diamond darts was very fast, and every time the demon wolf king thought that these diamond darts could not hit it, these diamond darts collided with each other in the air, immediately changed their trajectory, and shot towards its most vulnerable part. This feeling is that something that was about to fly past you a second ago and did not pose any threat suddenly turned a corner in an instant and shot towards it. The demon wolf king had never encountered such a situation before and was suddenly confused and almost couldn't dodge. Fortunately, its physical strength was strong and the hair on its body was as hard as iron wire. It only needed to dodge a little and avoid being shot at the vulnerable parts. But Yuan An's offensive continued. Would release. Sea of trees. Boom. A large number of trees tore the ground and rushed towards the demon wolf king like a dragon. But the demon wolf king had stabilized. It was a level 3, stage 2. Why should it be afraid of a level 6, stage 1? With its claws as sharp as the wind, it cut a forest into sawdust. Swish. It had just resolved the sea of trees, and 2 diamond-shaped darts were shot at it again. These were not ordinary diamond-shaped darts. They were inlaid with a fire demon core and a thunder demon core respectively. But the Demon Wolf King didn't know and thought they were just ordinary diamond-shaped darts, so he raised his claws and shot them out without any care. The result can be imagined. Boom. The two diamond-shaped darts exploded instantly, and the rolling waves of fire and the power of thunder and lightning directly knocked the Demon Wolf King to the ground. It was at this time that the poison that Qian Mengzi had thrown out earlier took effect, and the Demon Wolf King suddenly felt weak and unable to use his strength. Good opportunity. Yuan An had been waiting for this opportunity. Seeing that the Demon Wolf King was in a bad state, he jumped up decisively, drew out the standard short knife behind him, held it with both hands, and stabbed vertically. Puff. The blade pierced through the Demon Wolf King's head, and his vitality was dissipated. Chapter 23, Mysterious Shop, Sage Mode. Puff. Yuan An killed the Demon Wolf King with one knife. The Demon Wolf King, who was still trying to struggle the previous second, completely stopped moving the next second. Ding. Congratulations to the host for completing the task. Kill the Wolf King reward. 3000 energy points. After completing the task and earning a large amount of energy points, Yuan An felt relieved. The money he earned from this battle was more than the money he earned from the previous dozen battles. It was so cool. As the Demon Wolf King died, the demon wolves realized that their leader was gone, and their morale was immediately dispersed, and they fled in panic. After a while, all the demon wolves around ran away. The crisis was resolved. Pa 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 pa. The crowd suddenly burst into warm applause, which was for Yuan An. I didn't expect that you, little brother, are so strong and courageous at such a young age. It's true that a hero emerges from a young age. Qian Fu said with a smile. They all saw the scene of Yuan An fighting with the Demon Wolf King. Although it was not a one-on-one duel, it was not very fierce. But he dared to face a level 2, level 3 Demon Wolf King and successfully killed it. If it were someone else, they wouldn't have such courage and guts. It's all luck, just luck. Yuan An said modestly. Without me, you would have been torn to pieces long ago. Qian Mengzi said suddenly. Yes, it's all Miss Qian's credit. I just helped a little. Yuan An didn't care. Anyway, the mission has been completed now, and he doesn't care who's credited. Okay, everyone cheer up again. It's not safe yet. Qian Fu began to reorganize the crowd, organize the convoy, and go back to Hualahei City. This time, the journey was smooth. They didn't encounter any attacks from monsters, and they saw Hualahei City smoothly. The convoy soon drove into Hualahei City and returned to the gate of Wanling Pavilion. Okay, thank you for your hard work. After confirming that it was safe, Qian Fu began to distribute the rewards for this mission. When it was Yuan An's turn, although it was agreed that he would be paid 800 silver coins, Qian Fu still gave him a gold coin and said, "Little brother, you performed very well this time. I hope you can keep up the good work next time." Thank you. Yuan An took the gold coin. He got off the truck. Ding. Congratulations to the host for completing the task. Completing a bounty/team/hiring task reward. 1000 energy points. Open the mysterious shop. System. Open the mysterious shop. Yuan An opened it impatiently. A brand new virtual interface appeared in front of Yuan An. Spiritual summoning. 1000 energy points. Sealing technique, fire escape, heavenly prison. 1000 energy points. Sage mode. Level 1. 3000 energy points. Sage mode. Level 2. 10,000 energy points. Sage mode. Perfect. 30,000 energy points. Flying Thunder God technique. Complete version. 50,000 energy points. This is. Seeing these things, Yuan An suddenly became energetic. It turns out that this so-called mysterious store sells things other than Sharingan and would release. And it's not just ordinary 5-release ninjutsu, but all kinds of powerful secret techniques. Yuan An was envious of everything on it. Of course, the price is not cheap. But after the high price of ordinary stores, he was not unacceptable to these prices. Yuan An also found that there was a line of small words below the mysterious store. Next round of goods refresh time. 5 days later, that is to say, these goods are refreshed every 5 days, and there are different things in each round. If there is something you like, it is best to buy it within 5 days, otherwise you may not be able to see it again in the next round. But with Yuan An's current savings, it is a bit difficult to sweep up all the things in the mysterious store. He only has more than 5,000 points. So, he did not hesitate to take the summoning technique, fire release heavenly prison and sage mode, first level, 3 things, which consumed 5,000 energy points at once. Spiritual communication. In this world, where monsters are rampant, spiritual communication is very useful. If you sign a few more powerful monsters as spiritual communication beasts, your combat power will be directly improved to a higher level. Fire escape heavenly prison, although it belongs to fire escape, is also a kind of sealing technique. And the sage mode, level 1, is the most basic sage mode that has been improved by the system. It can enter the sage mode instantly, but it can only last for about 10 minutes, and its endurance is a bit poor. These 3 things are very good, and for Yuan An, they are enough to make his combat power reach a higher level. If he is allowed to fight against the Demon Wolf King again now, he should be able to fight one-on-one and not lose. This mission is really rewarding. Yuan An suddenly felt that he had gained a lot from coming to Hualahei City today. It's getting late, I should go back. Looking up at the sky that was gradually turning into dusk, Yuan An was about to go back. At this moment, 5 or 6 people suddenly surrounded him and blocked his way. These people were full of hostility and blood, and they were obviously not good people. The most important thing is that these people are at a very high level. 3 are level 10 in the first order, 1 is level 1 in the second order, and 1 is level 3 in the second order. Everyone has a light black dagger pattern tattooed on their arms, the logo of the Shadow Bounty Society. Is there anything wrong? Yuan An glanced at them lightly, without panicking. Several people did not speak, but made way for a man and a woman to come over. Yuan An was very familiar with the woman, Zhu Yuxuan, who wanted to snatch the earrings from him during the day. Next to Zhu Yuxuan was a man with sword eyebrows and starry eyes, but he could not hide the murderous aura between his eyebrows, and there was a golden dagger pattern tattooed on his shoulder. Shadow Bounty Society, the gold medal killer. It's someone from the Shadow Bounty Society. That's Zhu Yidao, the gold medal killer of the Shadow Bounty Society. Who is that man? Why is Zhu Yidao in trouble? Have you seen Zhu Yidao's sister? This morning, that unlucky guy had a conflict with Zhu Yidao's sister, and now he is looking for his brother to take revenge. For a while, many people watch the excitement. The gold medal killers of the Shadow Bounty Society are not often seen. Boy, I finally found you. Zhu Yuxuan's face was gloomy and fierce. Looking at her calmly, Yuan An said calmly, "What's the matter? Is there something wrong?" But he also secretly felt Zhu Yidao's strength, which was very strong. At least the 3rd level. This level of superpowers is already considered a strong man. "It's you who bullied my sister?" Zhu Yidao raised his eyes and looked at Yuan An with calm eyes. Yuan An shrugged. "If you say that using something I bought with my own money can be considered bullying, then that's it. Just because you gave money doesn't mean that the things are yours. Everything my sister likes is hers." Zhu Yidao said calmly, "I'll give you a chance. Hand over the things and kowtow to my sister to admit your mistakes, and I can spare your life." Chapter 24. Battle against Zhu Yidao. "The thing my sister likes belongs to her. Now, take it out, kowtow and admit your mistake, and I will spare your life." Zhu Yidao had a blank expression from beginning to end, because he didn't take Yuan An seriously at all. He could kill a small level 6 first order person with his eyes closed, just like stepping on an ant. What if I don't? Yuan An's words immediately surprised the audience around him. They all thought that Yuan An would definitely kneel down and beg for mercy. Although it would be embarrassing and lack self-esteem, it was the best way. In this world, self-esteem is a very worthless thing. As long as you have the ability, no matter how embarrassing it was at the beginning, everyone will respect you in the future. If you don't have the ability, no one will care, no matter how much you talk about self-esteem. Moreover, Zhu Yidao is the gold medal killer of the Shadow Bounty Club. Kneeling in front of him is not shameful. If you lose your life because of your self-esteem that no one cares about, that would be really stupid. Yuan An's words also successfully changed Zhu Yidao's expression from blank expression to disdain. In that case, then you should die with your dignity. Without any more nonsense, he raised his sword and slashed at Yuan An mercilessly. The sharp edge was so sharp that Yuan An felt a stinging pain on his face before the sword even reached him. Very strong. Bang! The sword chopped down a big tree nearby and cut it in half. Zhu Yidao was stunned for a moment. Because the sword did not chop Yuan An. To be precise, it should have hit him, but only a little bit. A cut was made on Yuan An's clothes in front of him. Just when Zhu Yidao was about to chop him with the sword just now, Yuan An used the Sharingan and instantly entered the Sage mode to greatly improve his strength in a short period of time, so that he could dodge the sword. Otherwise, the consequences would be disastrous. At this moment, after entering the Sage mode, faint golden marks appeared in the corners of Yuan An's eyes, and his strength almost doubled, temporarily reaching the second stage level 3. Although he was still not as good as Zhu Yidao, at least he could fight with his Sharingan. You were lucky to dodge this knife. Zhu Yidao didn't care much. In his opinion, Yuan An was just lucky. Can you dodge the second knife? Zhu Yidao slowly tightened the big knife in his hand and took it seriously. Just try. Yuan An slowly closed his right eye, and his left eye slowly changed from a 3 Magatama Sharingan to a 6-pointed star pattern of main Gekyo Sharingan. With the main Gekyo Sharingan plus the Sage mode, facing Zhu Yidao, who was at level 1 of the 3rd order, he was not without the ability to fight. The spiritual eye system is a rare system. Noticing the change in Yuan An's eyes, Zhu Yidao didn't take it seriously. He had seen too many strange or rare supernatural systems, and the spiritual eye system was not the first time he had seen it. Moreover, there was not much difference between the spiritual eye system and other supernatural powers, which was not enough to make up for the gap between the two. This knife will send you on your way. The second knife was cut out. This knife, Zhu Yidao was much more serious, because if he missed again this time, it would affect his reputation as a gold medal killer. But facing a mere first level psychic, using his full strength would also affect his reputation, and the degree here is very subtle. But he still slashed out a knife that he thought was enough to kill Yuan An, but would not make people think he was making a fuss. I see. Zhu Yidao's speed was very fast, because he was a power type, and like the wind type, it had a blessing effect on speed. Ordinary second level psychics might not have had time to see his movements clearly before they became dead souls under the knife. But Yuan An was different. Under the powerful pupil power of the main Gekyo Sharingan, he could see Zhu Yidao's movements clearly. At the same time, under the blessing of the Sage mode, his physical fitness was comprehensively improved, providing him with sufficient reaction speed. Bang! In the surprised eyes of everyone, Yuan An successfully dodged Zhu Yidao's attack again. This time, not only the audience, but also Zhu Yidao was surprised. He was dodged twice in a row? Question mark? He was the gold medal killer of the Shadow Bounty Club, but he was dodged twice in a row by a first level trash? Question mark? If he told others about this, where would his face be? Don't be too surprised. Yuan An didn't just take the hit unilaterally. This time, while dodging the attack, he shot several diamond-shaped darts backhanded, shooting at Zhu Yidao from different angles. Dang dang dang. This level of attack was not worth mentioning to Zhu Yidao, and he casually blocked all of them with the wide blade. I didn't expect you to have some skills. No wonder you dare to provoke my sister. In this case, I have to go all out to show my respect for you. This time, Zhu Yidao no longer cared about face. If he missed again, it would be really embarrassing. But at this moment, a cold voice suddenly sounded. Zhu Yidao, you Shadow Bounty Club dare to be arrogant in this girl's territory now? I saw a woman wearing a denim shorts and shorts walking out of Yuan Ling Pavilion. It was Kan Mengzi. After completing the handover task, Yuan An was intercepted before he had time to get away from Yuan Ling Pavilion. So not far behind him was Yuan Ling Pavilion, and Kan Mengzi knew everything about the movement here. Zhu Yidao looked up at Kan Mengzi and said, this place is out of your Yuan Ling Pavilion. It doesn't belong to you. Kan Mengzi. Kan Mengzi didn't say anything, but took Yuan An and took a few steps back to the door of Yuan Ling Pavilion. Now, he is in my Yuan Ling Pavilion. Kan Mengzi's behavior surprised many people. There is no doubt that she wanted to protect Yuan An. What is the relationship between this guy, who obviously looks like a rookie, and Kan Mengzi? How could she come out to protect him in person? Kan Mengzi, are you going to protect him? Zuyadeo did not expect Kyan Mengzi to do such a thing, and then snorted coldly, I understand. So this boy's your gigolo. How did you like him? Thin arms and thin legs. But Kyan Mengzi didn't buy it at all. She crossed her arms in front of her chest, with contempt on her pretty face, and said, anyway, he is now in my Wanling Pavilion's territory. If you have the ability, try to move one. Zuyadeo was obviously a little afraid of Kyan Mengzi, but his eyes were cold, but he didn't dare to really do it. Very good. You Kyan Mengzi have the ability, but I want to see if you can protect him for a while, or if you can protect him for a lifetime. Boy, after today, you'd better hide as far away as possible, otherwise, no one can protect you. With a cold look in his eyes, Zuyadeo turned around, and was about to leave with Zuyugsun. But at this moment, Yuan An took a step forward, walked out of the Wanling Pavilion's territory, and said, no need to wait until later, let's do it today. Chapter 25, Who said Amaterasu can't kill people? No need to wait until later, let's do it today. Just when everyone thought that the matter was over, and even Zuyadeo was about to leave, Yuan An stood up again, and said such words. This statement shocked the whole audience. Is he a fool? Zuyadeo has let him go, and he wants to die. Kyan Mengzi was willing to offend Zuyadeo to protect him, but he ended up wasting all Kyan Mengzi's efforts. Want to be a hero? I think he has lost his mind. Even Kyan Mengzi didn't expect Yuan An to speak at this time. She couldn't help but pull him and whispered, what are you doing? Are you stupid? She finally showed up to drive Zuyadeo away and save Yuan An, but Yuan An bumped into him again. How could there be such a stupid person in the world? Doesn't this make everything she did in vain? Exclamation mark. Zuyadeo stopped and turned around to look at Yuan An. He also didn't understand Yuan An's stupid behavior. But since Yuan An wants to die, don't blame him. Boss Kyan, it seems that your brain is not working well. It's not that I don't give you face, but he insisted on dying. Don't blame me. He smiled coldly, drew out the big knife again, and walked towards Yuan An step by step. This time, he will not give Yuan An any chance. Seeing Zuyadeo's return, Yuan An's expression did not change, and he looked very calm. His behavior seemed stupid to outsiders, but he didn't care. On the one hand, Yuan An couldn't accept being humiliated like this and then doing nothing. His self-esteem couldn't accept such a thing. On the other hand, it was also the most critical factor. Ding. Trigger task, defeat Zuyadeo. Task reward. 5,000 energy points. Yuan An didn't want to do this either, but the system gave too much. No wonder he did. Although this task is not easy, it is not impossible. Boy, I admire you very much. You have the courage to stand up again. This shows that you are still a man with backbone. So, I will also give you a man with backbone to die. Zuyadeo's face was gloomy. He rushed towards Yuan An and jumped high. The big knife in his hand had the power to split mountains and rocks and chop down at Yuan An fiercely. This time, he went all out and was determined to take Yuan An down with one knife. Who? Yuan An did not dodge or evade. The Mangeki Sharingan in his left eye silently shed 2 lines of blood and tears. He stared at Zuyadeo intently. Amaterasu. A very strong sense of crisis suddenly surged into Zuyadeo's heart. The next moment, a cluster of dark flames appeared in front of him without any warning. When he reacted, he subconsciously chopped the oncoming black flames in half with the big knife in his hand. But the split black flames did not dissipate, but fell on him. Zizzy. The black flames instantly spread on Zuyadeo's body with an astonishing temperature. The terrifying high temperature made Zuyadeo's face change drastically, and he quickly slapped his hands to try to put out the strange flame. However, not only did this fail to put out Amaterasu, but it also stained his hand with the black flame of Amaterasu, which quickly spread to his entire arm. In a short moment, Zuyadeo was completely wrapped in the flames of Amaterasu. The pain that seemed to burn his soul made him scream miserably. Ah! This burning pain that penetrated deep into the soul made Zuyadeo couldn't help but scream miserably, and the whole person turned into a flame man and fell to the ground. Brother, what's wrong with you? Brother. Seeing this, Zuyugsun on the side hurried over to help Zuyadeo slap the flames on his body. As a result, even Zuyugsun was stained with Amaterasu, and it spread rapidly. Ah! The same shrill scream made everyone around scalp numb. In less than a minute, both of them were completely burned to ashes. Horror. At this moment, everyone had only endless horror in their hearts. This is no longer just shock, but also fear. The strange black flames, in just 2 or 3 minutes, burned the gold medal killer of the Shadow Bounty Club to ashes. And it seems that the black flames are not so easy to extinguish. This should have been Yuan An's end, but it turned out to be Zhu Yidao's end. The situation changed so much that everyone was in disbelief. Yuan An killed Zhu Yidao? A first level psychic actually killed a third level psychic? This is also a very explosive existence in the entire Hualahe city. Seeing that Zhu Yidao was finally burned to death, Yuan An also breathed slightly, and the sage mode disappeared. Amaterasu consumes a lot, but as long as the expected effect is achieved, it is enough. Who said that Amaterasu can't burn people to death? He just wants to prove that Amaterasu can burn people to death. If it weren't for the fact that Amaterasu has an upper limit on the number of uses, he would have used it long ago. Why would he wait until now? Ding. Congratulations to the host for completing the mission. Defeat Zhu Yidao reward. 5,000 energy points. The sound of the mission being completed, or the energy points being credited, is the greatest comfort to Yuan An. Qian Mengzi was so surprised that she opened her rosy little mouth slightly. After a while, she looked at Yuan An in surprise and said, "Little brother, I didn't expect you to have such a method. It's amazing." Yuan An said seriously, "Correction, I'm not small." He felt good about Qian Mengzi. At least she was willing to stand up for Yuan An just now, which was rare. And Qian Mengzi was also a rare beauty, with beautiful facial features, big breasts and a thin waist, and long white and straight legs. She was a beautiful big sister. She didn't need to be unhappy with Zhu Yidao for Yuan An, but she did it anyway. This touched Yuan An's heart. Really not small? Qian Mengzi understood the meaning of Yuan An's words, and her narrow eyes glanced at Yuan An's lower body lightly, meaningfully. It made Yuan An a little embarrassed. Sure enough, those who can open a store in a place like Hualahe City are not ordinary people. Qian Mengzi no longer has the innocence of other girls. Anyway, I still want to thank Miss Qian for your help today. I'll remember it. Yuan An quickly changed the subject. Qian Mengzi smiled. You're welcome. Anyway, I didn't help much. In the end, you figured it out by yourself. I'm leaving first. Yuan An didn't stay for long and left quickly. The others consciously made way. Being able to kill Zhu Yidao, this record is enough to win respect in Hualahe City, and from now on, Yuan An will be remembered by the people of Hualahe City. This is a reality. Only when your fist is strong will others respect you. Otherwise everything is a joke. Yuan An didn't stay for too long. He got on the flying car back to Beilang City and went back. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.